Last time on Square Roots, Sora failed his finals and has to repeat a year, so it's back to gym class with Coach Hercules. Later, Sora decides to find Roxas, who lives in his heart, but also maybe on the internet or a video game or something. I don't know, he's not real, it doesn't matter. Also, a rat has too much fruit. Freaking capitalism.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello.
John Young Xehanort Brandon.
I'm not allowed singing a song about onions.
It's true. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa. I am allowed to sing a song about onions, but I choose not to.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs like Kingdom Hearts 3. Right? We're all liking this game.
This game went from 0 to fantastic in like the first hour.
Oh.
It's great.
What did it do? That first hour was kind of boring, though.
Well, maybe the first 2 hours. Maybe it's the first 5 hours. I don't know. I feel like it's been a lot faster to get to just letting you do it. You know, like all right, by the end of this chunker, I think we have what feels like almost every power from Kingdom Hearts 2. Maybe 1 or 2 are missing.
You've got
Can't
most
fly.
of them. I think this game is better for, like, remember Kingdom Hearts 2? You had to do the whole Roxas section first, which took like 2 or 3 hours to do. And it was a real drag on the first half of that game.
But we all kind of liked it, but it was annoying.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because it was a sequel, and you're like, hooray, I'm going to see my friends again. And then the game's like, spend some time with these people.
Yeah, spend time with Hainer.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that. It didn't help that. On top of that, it was total nonsense. Like there was no good justification for it. They were like, nobody's and heartless, and Roxas is in a computer, and who the fuck are you?
And struggle games.
I feel like I was squarely against that at the time, but now I'm like, I missed that whole Twilight Town opening that 2 had.
That's
It is
the
kinda
poison
charming.
of nostalgia. No.
It does feel a bit like replay. It would be more tolerable, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know what's going on. So
you
you're
know
just
when
kind
it's going to end.
yeah, just kind of blow through it and breeze through it and enjoy it for what it is. You can still jump on the trolley and skateboard and stuff, and that's always going to be fun.
Well, guys, before we get too far into gushing
Kingdom
about
Hearts
Kingdom
2?
Hearts, let's talk about some hot gaming news.
Oh, wow.
Hot game news.
The first hot gaming news is that I was right, and I want to point out that I was right, and I'm going to do a dance.
Does it
And
count as being right if you said something that wasn't announced yet? So it was really more just a
Technically,
speculation?
you were wrong at the time you made the declaration. You're only retroactively right.
I'll take it. The Persona series is going to come to the Switch. After all, isn't that exciting, everybody? I think that means that it's
Hooray.
getting the Persona 5 Special Edition, whatever it's called, the Royal.
Yeah.
And it's getting 3 and 4 as well.
That's all.
Exciting stuff.
Is it for golden? It's got to be right. That's the only.
It's the same as the
version
other
of
ones,
it.
yeah. 4 golden and is it 3 FES?
Yeah.
The worst version. I don't know if that's true, but the idea of not being able to run around, I have to admit, it annoys me. I like that about the Persona games. I like running around in school. It's true. I do.
So when you say that you can't run around, surely they still have the social link things, right?
It's like the classrooms, instead of like being 3D environments, are more like maps with points that you kind of mouse over to with your analog stick, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looked like the one time I saw it.
I played that version when we played Persona 3.
Yeah, didn't Vanessa play through
Yeah, I
that
thought
version?
we all did. Or
No,
most
I
of us.
didn't.
Surely not.
Oh.
Yeah, because you were romancing Ken or something creepy.
No, I wasn't. You accused me of doing that, and then you wrote a song about romancing Ken, or someone did, and you sang
You're
it
going
at
to
me.
jail. You're going to jail. Vanessa's
no.
going to jail now.
That was it. I have never played that version because I have never played that game as a lady girl.
Oh, okay. Then yes, that's.
I
how
thought you were
play
going
it.
to say I've never played that game, and I was going
I've
to.
never played that game. I've never
Yeah.
played any Persona games. I've never. This is my first RPG.
Kingdom Hearts 3, first game she's ever played.
First game
And that
I've ever
is
played.
because we are all a bunch of young 20-somethings that have just stumbled onto gaming for the first time.
Yeah, I heard about it at this club, like a really underground place. They don't advertise, you just have to know it's there, and that's not always open. Like, someone tells you when it's going to be open. So
Like
it was
one
like,
of those secret speakeasies.
yeah, it was
Well,
at this
like the one that George
secret-
Costanza got into when everyone thought he had a dead, beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah, so I was at this like super secret exclusive club, and like
That really fresh reference Johnny just made.
like that really fresh reference Johnny just made.
Because we're a bunch of
I
young
was hanging
20-somethings.
out with like Bella Hadid, and she was like, "Hey, did you hear about video games?" And I'm like, "What is that?" So I'm trying it, ironically.
We'll see how it goes, you know? Maybe we finish, maybe we like it, maybe we don't. This may be the only season of Square Roots. Only time will tell.
Yeah, but like even if we like it, we like it ironically. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, I guess. Is that a thing? Is being super ironic cool? It doesn't sound cool to me.
I have some hot gaming news.
What is it?
Yeah, my gaming news is about a game called Harvestella, coming to the Switch in probably October or something. Harvestella is a farm sim / RPG from Square. And it involves planting things and making friends, but also saving the world from the apocalypse. Everything you love about a Square RPG, everything you love about Harvest Moon or something like that, all together in Harvestella. I don't know very much about it at this point. It looks pretty, and the protagonist appears to be a little boy who wears thigh-high boots. So both those things seem great to me. Harvestella. Look forward to planting some cabbages and saving the world. Only on Nintendo Switch.
It looks like an extreme mashup of Stardew Valley and Final Fantasy. Like it didn't like, it's not like, usually that would mean like, oh, it's like a Final Fantasy knockoff of Stardew Valley. This looks like a Final Fantasy game with Stardew Valley in it.
Right.
It's very odd, but I like it. It talked about, I think the one thing I remember from the trailer was it talks about the 4 seasons, you know, of whatever, and then the deadly 5th season when
Right.
the apocalypse comes.
Which I guess happens every year or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And
Looks interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to have a sort of Legend of Mana kind of system where you craft things with the vegetables and things that you make. I assume that's going to be the deal, that farming will be an important part of your leveling up your equipment and things like that.
Square Enix has been really into doing like meal systems the last few years. Like they did it for
I think
15.
it's been- I
They
think
did it
it's
for
been-
Kingdom Hearts 3.
At least a decade. I think it's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Did they have meals in 13, Johnny? You're the only one that played that game.
No, they did not.
They have meals in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, they
that.
do. This is like some Tales stuff. Maybe that's why I feel like we've seen a lot of it because we played a lot of Tales.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Tales
Tales.
has. I don't know if Tales always had cooking. I assume so.
Tales is always, well, maybe not always, but everyone I've played, and I've played them back to like the PS2, or at least played some of them, you know? Played around with some of the older ones, not all of them. There's a bunch of those games. So, hey, there's one more thing in the hot gaming news.
I got one.
Oh, yeah, Johnny. You have one.
Yeah, I have one. Is it about Fallout?
No.
Okay. You know the game Fallout? Everyone loves
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves it except for Matt, who hates the aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, Guess who has been cast for the new Amazon Fallout TV show? Apparently, all of
Me?
No. I mean, other than Zelia Mendez Jones, I don't think she's on the podcast.
Is it Jim?
And Aaron Moten, also not on the podcast.
Yeah.
He hasn't said it's not Jim yet, so
It's gonna be Jim.
Jim?
Kyle MacLachlan.
It's
Who?
Jim.
He's Kyle MacLachlan from Sex and the City and Dune and Twin Peaks
Yeah.
and
no, you don't
Blue
start
Velvet.
with Sex and the
Twin
City when you're
Peaks?
talking about Kyle MacLachlan. What are you doing? He's not Kyle MacLachlan from Sex and the City and
That's where I know him
Dune.
from.
Yeah, he's Kyle MacLachlan from the Flintstones movie.
Oh, okay.
You always start with his most well-known role. You don't go on IMDb and they say, like, known for cameo in Frasier. No.
But he was like a major character for several seasons of Sex and the City.
I know, and he couldn't get it up, and he had a bath with his mother.
Yes.
I don't need to be told about Kyle MacLachlan and Sex and the City.
I don't need to be told about the things you're discussing.
It's true, though.
What is it that Vanessa always says? I'm fainting. Or whatever.
Yes,
Fainting.
Vanessa's catchprise. I'm
Vanessa's
fainting.
catchphrase.
Vanessa's well-known catchphrase, I'm fainting.
I'm fainting.
That's not a terrible sitcom catchphrase, honestly.
I'm
fainting?
fainting.
Yeah.
Get that
No,
fainting
I
couch.
am fainting. Seems like a character who would use it like never when they were actually fainting, just to explain like how excited or
Yeah, of course.
surprised they were.
It's hyperbole. Or as Jim pronounces it, hyperbole.
I don't say it like that.
Everybody pronounced it hyper. Most people pronounced it hyperbole at one point in their life.
Also, everyone's
Some people
super
pronounce it-
into the hot clown woman from 2016's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. She is a hot clown lady, and the internet is memeing how hot she is because she snaps.
John, is this one
her
of those
suspenders.
situations where this is something from your, but it's probably just on your Twitter feed, but you're making it seem like it's everybody's interest?
It's called the Clussy meme, and frankly,
Yep.
I'm here for it. Let me just put it into the chat real fast. So
None
you
of this
can-
sounds like hot gaming news, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about
let me just hold on. I'm just putting it into the chat real fast so you can play the GIF, and then we'll be done.
Now I've heard of a Clussy, but always in the context of the clown from It.
Go. Have you pressed play on that?
Yeah,
GIF?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that's the Clussy meme.
Well, maybe I shouldn't get into what would happen if I put on a clown nose and a pink wig, but it wouldn't not look like that, I would say.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's a downgrade from Lady D. Anyway,
It
Matt,
is,
let's
yeah. And I'm not going to put on a clown nose or a pink wig, so get that out of your minds right now. Although, have you ever noticed that whenever they have, like, some show and someone needs to be, like, cute girl, sexy girl, they always have, like, a pink bob wig. Like, every girl is supposed to have one in their closet. And I'm like
Alias.
Yes.
Like Alias.
Or when Padme had to wear one when she was dancing
in that movie where she danced around and Clark Gable's there. Yes. So I'm thinking, like, is this a wardrobe staple that I've just been ignoring? Should I get a pink bob wig? Where would I wear
Probably.
it? When would I wear it? Why would I wear
when
it?
you're a spy and you have to get information from a vaguely Eastern European gangster at the hottest nightclub in town.
Okay.
I think when you have a pink bob wig, you'll know when to wear it. Like, you'll just know.
Oh, that's true.
You'll know when to wear it, and when that will mostly be all the time. Because once you put it on your head, you'll be like, this is amazing.
Everyone's giving me stuff for free all the time. All these Russian gangsters are telling me all their info. I don't even know them.
Russian gangsters.
Well-
All right.
I've got a lot to think about, so thank you very much. This has been Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast, and
Short
I'm
for
satisfied with what we've done today.
As we
Tonight,
all
in our
know,
first and
Clussy
possibly
is
final
short
season.
for classic RPG podcast.
Hey, what about the last thing that we have
Yeah,
here?
what about your last thing there, Matt?
We've got an announcement that the Mega Man Battle Network games are getting a legacy collection like all the rest of the Mega Man series have. And that's exciting, right? Everybody's excited about playing Mega Man Battle Network.
I've never played that Mega Man.
Mega Man. I think that it says that it's going to be a 10-game collection. So, boy, they made a lot more of those than I realized. Oh, wait. No, I looked at it, and they were like Pokemons for a while. There were like 2 of each, 3 of each, maybe.
I think
You know
I
what I mean?
don't like or want to play Mega Man because it's not for me.
Oh.
I'm not
Hates that
trying
Mega
to
Man.
be like contrary or upset anybody, but like platforming, side-scrolly, shoot 'em up.
Well, that's not what those games are they? I thought they were like a
What? It's
Pokemon.
Mega Man Battle Network is
Are
an
they like
RPG.
Mega Man Legends?
No, they're
No.
like RPGs. They're turn-based
They're
RPGs.
What? But I
Yeah.
do like turn-based RPGs.
And you
Those
play-
are for me.
I think the premise is that it's like nothing to do with any Mega Man you've ever heard of. It's its own.
Oh, so you're not Dr. Light telling
Nope, none
Mega
of that.
Man
You're
to
like
fight
you're like a
Dr.
kid,
Wowie.
and Mega Man like exists in your. You're like a normal kid, and Mega
What?
Man exists like in the internet, and you
Oh,
go
no.
into the internet and fight as Mega Man. I don't know, man.
Oh, that
It's,
reminds. What was that old like Power Rangers knockoff that was like?
VR Ranger.
Yeah, there was another one that was. I've talked about this on the
There
show
was.
before. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Who was in that? Portia de Rossi? No.
Was she?
No.
What was that one
people-
that Matthew Lawrence was in?
People like those Mega Man Battle Network games, and I think maybe we should try one out one of these
Oh.
days.
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. That was the
Oh,
one
yeah.
that Matthew Lawrence was in.
I remember that. All that shit played. Big Bad Beetleborgs? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that was the one with Jay Leno
Works.
in it, right?
Jay Leno.
I think you're right. Like a Jay Leno looking monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for hot gaming news? Anybody got anything left in the tank?
That's it for me.
Let's do it. What's next on the agenda?
Leveling up.
I'll go first because I have nothing to talk about.
Okay.
I leveled up by doing yard work. Whoa!
Sweet.
All by yourself?
No, I had some help from a friend. And, hey, The Boys was great this week, and so was Ms. Marvel. That's my level up. What about you, Johnny?
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh. I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel,
Oh.
and
And?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. And I didn't feel pressured to like it, because I realized it's just a TV show, and liking it doesn't mean that I dislike, X or Y group. But I thought it was good. It had a fun family dynamic, and the leads were very good. Although the white kid reminds me of Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible.
Oh, he
And
does. Now that
I
you
don't
say
like
it.
him. But
You
everyone
don't
else
like
is
Ron
good.
Stoppable?
Who does? Does anyone like Ron Stoppable, really?
I've never thought about him one way or the other, but I didn't really watch that show because I'm too young.
Oh, right. That's true.
He's kind of a weird character now that I think about it. Like, he's, like, a genius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like he's her sidekick, but he's, like, got him super smart. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, it feels very like cliched superhero TV, that part. But the rest of the show, I don't know, like everything else is so good that you can kind of forgive it for that. And
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's fun. Otherwise, I've been going through my PC collection and just trying it out on my new computer. I finished a big project at work, so I now have finally this weekend I can play some games. And that's what I've been doing.
Sweet.
I played a lot of Street Fighter Cross Tekken with my friend Mike. That game is great.
Wow.
Don't at me. Actually, at
Don't
me.
at
I love
me.
being added.
Does it play?
Yeah.
Does that one play like a Street Fighter or a Tekken? Did the
That one plays like a Street Fighter.
oh
The Tekken version never came out,
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't one of them never come out? I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And the other thing I did was I watched Demon Squad, the new Mystery Science Theater episode with Joel from old Mystery Science Theater.
What did you think?
Cool.
He's my favorite.
It was a good episode, and I genuinely liked the movie and have asked some questions about it to the director because it was a very recent production, I think.
Oh, interesting.
It was only 5 years old or something, maybe.
Yeah,
and
2019, I think.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not. Its
not
problems.
a good movie.
I would say its problems are its budget for the most part. But
Yeah, I felt like none of the actors could act. Not
I don't know.
one.
I liked what
At
Delilah
best, it was
and
like community
Daisy
theater
were doing.
level.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was like someone
It was
without a lot of
certainly
money
engrossing.
making a pretty good sci-fi action horror movie.
I mean, 2019, it didn't look worse than it looked better than an episode of Buffy, and that's kind of what it was.
Stop ragging on Buff. Although
No,
you know what,
that's
the
not
special
an
effects
insult.
do look. Well, also it had some good makeup effects and stuff too.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
it
know, I
looked
liked
like.
it.
It looked a lot like an episode of Buffy.
And I
the,
also liked
the monster design, the
I
special
liked
effects.
that the movie or that the MST3K people weren't shitting on the movie either. They were just having fun with it. They weren't this is some other not we hate movies, but other movie making fun of shows would go really hard on it. But the MST3K guys were just having fun with it too. They weren't. I don't think they disliked the movie either, which was interesting. Yep. And so Demon Squad and Mystery Science Theater. Watch both of them. It was a fun episode. Not the amazing episode what was it, Munchie? Was that the one?
Munchie. I loved Munchie.
Munchie
I
was
loved Dr. Mordred. I think is my favorite of the season so far. That one was extra
Munchie
weird.
made me laugh so hard. Go ahead and watch the new Mystery Science Theater. It's a little pricey for what you get, but I still think it's worth it. And I paid $60 for 3 months access to it or something.
I was a little annoyed that they're stretching out what doesn't feel like a ton of content over the course of a year. And also those posts, I guess I don't want to say it on the air, but those post-stream things are not great. They are just Zoom calls. It's nothing. But now that they've been doing it, now I'm kind of getting used to it. Now I'm every few weeks I got a new Mystery Science Theater to watch. And they're fun. And they've been good. It's been, other than, as itself, it's been a great season, I think. They've had a ton of good episodes. And it's weirder than ever. It's a lot of fun. And I like all the hosts. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Why not?
That's how I leveled up.
Jim, how did Jim level up?
Well, so a few weeks ago, I told you guys I joined that new PS Plus program, the Premiere or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been playing some of those games, and one of them, and John, you were correct. Some of them you can only stream, but some of them you can download.
Okay.
So I downloaded Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh.
And it's awesome. It's really good. There's tons of cool suits. One of them is one of the suits that you get at the end. It's you have a backpack and there's a cat in it. And the cat is wearing a Spider-Man mask, and sometimes it'll pop out while you're doing stuff. I did a finisher on a guy, and one of the finishers is you just jump up on this guy and you put put your hands on his chest and use your Venom powers on him. And in the finisher, you get up and do that, and you knock the guy out, and then the cat jumps out from the backpack on your back and then does it to the guy too, pounces on him and puts his little paws on him and then jumps off. It's really awesome. But that game is good. And then I like to play poker. There's a poker game on there with you're playing with actual people, I guess, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty relaxing. Although some guy sent me a message today that he thought I was really bad at poker because I took a bunch of chips from him. But yeah, that's how I leveled up. Vanessa.
I have a question first, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you took a bunch of chips from man, doesn't that mean you're good at poker?
So what he did was you can send things to other people at the table, and he sent me a fish, and a fish in poker is a term for somebody who's inexperienced and doesn't know how to bet, and he was just a sore loser. That's what sore losers in poker do. They'd be like, well, you're so inexperienced that I just couldn't realize what your strategy was, even though you just beat me.
Yeah.
Because they think they know everything about poker and all the hand odds and stuff, and when they lose, they're always very flummoxed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they like expect everyone to follow their just straight odds playing and not play from the heart.
When I was playing poker with my friends, there's this guy that used to do that all the time, and he would always storm out and leave in the middle of games because he was obviously the best poker player. How could he be losing? And so it would just frustrate him to no end, and he would just leave. Good times.
It doesn't sound like good times the way you describe it. It sounds like bad time.
It's fun seeing people get. It's like watching somebody melt down online. You know, it's kind of satisfaction to it.
I see. Okay, ask your question. I'm ready.
How did you level up?
I have not done very much. I finally watched Mr. Weirdo after months of pressure from y'all.
Pressure.
Watch Mr. Weirdo. Watch Mr. Weirdo.
Yay!
Why
Now
don't
we
you
can
watch
spoil
Mr.
all of
Weirdo?
Mr. Weirdo, like how Mr. Weirdo dies at the end.
Kind of.
Yeah, sort of. I guess.
Spoiler alert.
I liked it. It was very Sam Raimi. I like Sam Raimi, so that worked for me. I think some people who don't quite like Sam Raimi probably would think it was too weirdo, too out there, but I thought it was fine.
It was surprisingly gory for a Marvel film.
Yeah, but not for a Sam Raimi film.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people, I feel like if you rewatched, Spider-Man 2 before you went and saw this movie, you would instantly be like, oh shit, this is the same director. It's very,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think when...
Actually rewatched Spider-Man 2 the other night, and you could tell that, that's like a Sam Raimi movie, and Mr. Weirdo is like a Sam Raimi Disney movie. It's kind of like a Sam Raimi light.
Yeah. Well, even at the time, I thought that
He had a lot of
Spider-Man
studio
2
interference.
was kind of a Sam Raimi light movie.
Yeah.
Like the Doc Ock transformation scene was really the only scene where I felt like, oh, there's Raimi-ing, you know?
There's
Sure.
one scene in Spider-Man 2 where it's like Peter Parker's in the frame and Doc Ock is marching towards him, and you could the screen shakes, and every time one of Doc Ock's steps pounds the ground, it zooms in a little bit more on Tobey Maguire's face, and that's
That's
so fun
very
when he
Sam
does
Raimi.
that. Yeah.
I did find Bruce Campbell's extended cameo distracting. And I say
Pizza
that as someone
Papa!
who likes Bruce Campbell.
Pizza Papa.
But it felt very, very hello, I'm Sam Raimi, and here is my calling card.
Yeah,
which is
here's
Bruce
my
Campbell.
friend. Here's my friend
Here's
Bruce.
my friend Bruce.
Yeah.
Get ready, Ted's probably on his way over.
Vanessa, was that you who watched Burn Notice?
I have seen Bird Notice, but I have not watched.
I've
it, I
watched
would
the
say.
first 4 seasons, so I guess.
Oh wow!
I guess
Okay,
that's
maybe that was
me.
John then.
Johnny. Yeah, because I don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
care for it that much.
That was a Bruce Campbell thing, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he was in that?
Yeah, he wasn't the main character, but he was
Yeah.
He wasn't
A
Mr.
big part
Byrne.
of it. No, he wasn't. He wasn't fake Hugh Goggins or Walt Goggins, whatever
yeah,
his name
the
is.
guy who was the lead in that, he did look like a knockoff version of Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
also,
what's your? Did you have a question about Bird Notice or?
No.
Oh well, no, we were talking about
You're the one who brought up
Bruce
Bird. Oh,
Campbell.
no, Jim was the one who
I
brought up
did,
Bird
yeah.
Notice,
Well, I was gonna say your affection from Bruce Campbell. I thought it was you who watched Burn Notice, so I was like, oh, because Vanessa watched Burn Notice, maybe that's why she
No.
likes.
Evil Dead series would be the origin of my
Oh, I didn't know
affection
you
for
were an
Bruce
Evil
Campbell.
Dead fan.
Well, I don't like to talk about it in public.
Oh, that makes sense.
You Vanessa observes Evil Dead quietly, privately.
Yeah, quietly, privately, in the privacy of my own room. I mean, I haven't seen them in years, I'm sure, but as a teenager, I was pretty into that shit.
Sweet.
I also watched The Umbrella Academy Season 3. I believe that last week I said that I thought I might develop a crush on Elliot Page. It did not happen. So, sorry, Elliot. Maybe next time. I always feel with Umbrella Academy that it's just not quite fully realized. Like, I watch it and enjoy it, but then afterwards, it's like having a meal, and then afterwards you're like, I still need a little snack or something to kind of complete my eating for the evening. Does that make sense?
I feel the same way. I enjoy it while I'm watching it, and then it just leaves no impression on me, really.
Yeah, I really
but I'm
struggling
still
to,
excited for the next meal.
Yeah, I always struggle to remember, and part of it was the length of time between the seasons. But there was one character, the British woman, who I cannot remember at all.
Me too. I was like, who is this person?
Who is she? I assume she was in previous episodes, and then they'd show flashbacks, and I'd be like, yeah, I guess
They
I
did like
kinda
once.
remember that,
Yeah.
but not really. So it just, I don't know. I don't know if it suffers from COVID and having been too long in between releasing the seasons, but it's just, I don't know. It's a good snack, but it's not a meal, I would say, of Umbrella Academy. Nevertheless, I look forward to seeing what happens next time.
Me too. They kind of reset the whole narrative in a way.
As they do every season, more or less.
Yeah, that's true. They end up in like a different reality.
Yep.
at the end of every
season. Yep. So that's that. That's how I leveled up, and now I am done.
Cool. Well, let's get into the quest log. There's a lot to cover. I added some notes here because we didn't talk about after every world. There's a whole bevy of cutscenes, and so I took the time to kind of note them down here. So once we get acquainted with the bistro and Remy the Rat in Twilight Town, we get a little scene with Xemnas and Ansem, and they're joined by Zigbar, and they allude to the fact that they're trying to guide Sora in a certain direction. And my theory is that they're trying to give Sora hints about how to get Roxas back so that they can use Roxas as a Xehanort vessel. It's my working theory, because they need like 13 of those. Right? 13?
That seems to
yeah.
be what they've been implying.
Sure. To get their new bodies.
Well, to like bring back... Well, so they thought they were going to be getting their bodies, and then they found out at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 that Xehanort was tricking them all.
Oh,
but no, they're all
okay.
still doing it anyway.
Yeah. Right.
So we can do that. We can start the Bistro minigames here.
Well, that goes for my corner, so...
Yes.
Yeah. Don't step on my turf, man.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a territory battle going on here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we do get another cutscene. This is our first glimpse of what Kairi and Lee are up to. Since we saw Kairi at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. So she and Lee, formerly Axel, are now Keyblade wielders, and they're...
But he likes being called Axel. Got it.
He does like being called Axel.
Got it memorized.
I hate that.
I was watching a recap of Dream Drop Distance, and they showed a quick cut of him saying that his name is Lee. Got it memorized. Like, make up your fucking mind, my man. Hey, I got news for you. Neither name is good.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess all the Lees out there are on notice. As
Wow.
well as the Axels. I have a bone to pick with Lee and several other former Organization 13 members. Why are they still wearing their stupid black robes?
Great
Well,
question.
those coats have a purpose. Those coats were designed to repel darkness. That's why all the scientist people, when they're in that dark world by the beach, are wearing them.
Oh, also
Wow.
like just a great fit. If I had a coat that like fit and like highlighted my chest in a flattering way like that, I would be wearing that all the time.
These are, this is organization shapewear.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there is something. I don't know if y'all have ever had the pleasure of putting something on that was made just for you, like to your measurements.
Yes.
It's game changing.
Mm-hmm. I would wear, although, see, the only problem I have, if it was a half jacket, like, just a regular jacket, not like all the way down like a Neo jacket, I would wear it, but I don't like the dressy part.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
It's difficult to pull off a long jacket as a man in the
Post Matrix America.
society, but also I would say on the West Coast, I really think of it more as like a East Coast pea coat kind of thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see.
But a
Lee and
peacoat's
Kyrie
not
are
a
eating.
long coat, is it?
It's
Do
not
what?
a long coat, but I was equating the long woolen coats that men tend to wear during East Coast winters to
Right.
a pea coat.
Aren't those? I thought those would be peacoats.
Peacoats are like down past your butt, right?
Yeah,
But not like to your ankles.
oh, I don't know. No,
Isn't
I
it a
don't-
waistcoat
I
that
don't
goes
feel,
down to your feet or
oh.
whatever?
Why would it?
I don't
Just
think
a
so.
vest.
That would just be a feet coat.
Oh.
Welcome to
All
right,
the
let's
corner,
move on.
I think
our
it's just a
favorite
jacket
segment.
that's a
Corner.
particular cut and made of whatever.
Yeah.
Coat corner. Got it memorized?
Mm-hmm. Look at his pea coat. Tell me he's broke. That's what Kanye
We can
said.
all agree that a peacoat has 2 rows of buttons. I mean, there's no question about that.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Weird buttons.
Overcoat. Right?
Yeah.
That's the level.
Yes, because you can wear it over your jacket.
Yes. We did it. Thanks for checking out Coat Corner, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So Lee and Kyrie are eating sea salt ice cream.
Aw.
Lee looks over at Kyrie and for a second sees Shion and starts to cry.
What?
Aw.
Excuse me, who's she on?
That's the girl with the black hair.
Shion is Kyrie's other nobody who was in 358 over 2 days.
But Kyrie's nobody is the white-haired girl.
That's nominee. Kyrie has 2 nobodies.
Why?
How do you
Why?
have 2 nobodies?
She has so it has to do with when Kyrie lost her heart in Kingdom Hearts 1. There was not a Heartless made because her heart took refuge inside Sora, but there was a nobody made, and that was Naminé. And then there was a copy made of Kyrie that something happened with, I don't remember. And there was a nobody that was spawned from that, and that's Shion.
Oh, okay. So Kyrie's clones nobody.
That's my understanding, yes.
Kyrie's digital clones nobody.
I don't think she was a digital clone. I think it was one of those replicas that they talk about in this chunker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. She was in I'm pretty sure she was in Chain of Memories as well.
Naminé was. Naminé was the one who helped you get your
That's
memories
right.
back in Chain of Memories, yeah.
She's the one that took them away in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, no, the castle did that.
Oh, I'd say, Naminé and Lee, both Keyblade wielders now, which is cool.
Not Naminé. Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrie. Yeah. Dang. It's confusing. Okay, so now we get to cut to Riku and Mickey back in Radiant Garden. And they're at the place where the final battle in Birth by Sleep took place, which is like this town square. And this is where Aqua beat Terra / Xehanort, but then fell into darkness before she could fully recover Terra's body and heart.
What do you mean by fell into darkness?
She got like sucked into the darkness world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not like she just got really depressed. Just
Oh,
was
no.
like, never
She was-
mind.
that probably happened too, but it was literally and figuratively. Do you guys have any questions about this? This is pretty complicated.
It's
No,
not. It's very
I have
straightforward,
no
and I
questions.
understand
This is
everything.
office hours.
We love
Yeah.
it.
We
Great.
love it. It's great. It's not complicated.
So this also you get
What's
like
complicated about somebody having a clone that has a nobody?
You get a ton of exposition here when Mickey basically explains the first 2 games to Riku.
Yeah.
Where he's like, there was a guy named Xehanort, and everybody thought that Ansem was a bad guy, but really it was Xehanort, and that's who you fought. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 happened, and there was a Xemnas and an Ansem, but then also there was another Xehanort that went forward in time to find hearts that were connected to his to then do what's happening in Kingdom Hearts 3. I wish that you would stop.
Now, see, here's the thing. This game is pretty straightforward, but the more you talk, the less straightforward it becomes.
What's the power of waking?
It's the power to wake up dormant hearts, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why doesn't Sora have that now?
He did at one point, but he lost it in Dream Drop Distance.
He lost it in Dream Drop Distance when he didn't pass his test, and Riku had to go back and save him.
Mickey introduces a thing that I honestly had not thought about, but I was glad that he explained. If Xehanort is an old man, then why does his Heartless and Nobody look like a young guy?
And why do they look like Riku? They both look like Riku.
Well, it was because his heart got taken and a Nobody got formed when he was in Terra's body. So they look like Terra, not like Xehanort.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought it was Riku. I thought he was saying that one of them looked like Riku.
He looked like Riku for a while, right? Didn't he?
They both had white hair.
I thought the Xemnas looked like Riku.
Is this the whole episode? Is it going to be this?
Yeah. That's what happens when we have Lore Corner.
Wasn't Riku in Kingdom Hearts 2 he was in another body for a while, which is
I thought they just aged him up.
No, he was stuck in a different body.
It wasn't even a different body. He just magically started looking like Xehanort.
Yeah, he was a different guy that looked like Xehanort, and then at the end when that machine exploded, it transformed him somehow back into regular Riku.
It made him regular Riku.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Remember when that machine exploded at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2?
I remember. All right,
so guys, let's talk about, I know Matt's got a ton to say about this, the Kingdom of Corona, which is our next world. Matt.
We've been in the Kingdom of Corona for 2.5 years now. Am I right? Am I
right? I loved the Kingdom of Corona. I love Tangled. I loved this level. I think that it did the best job of any of these games of cutting Sora, Donald, and Goofy into the plot somewhat seamlessly.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time I think where it's felt like I'm in the movie.
It really does.
I think the Timeless River in Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of did it, but this was full on oh my god, I'm in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like.
I think it does a great job with making an excuse to have the two of them join you, by the way, which I think we may have mentioned it last week, but you have 5 party members now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
a pretty cool thing that can happen. Mm-hmm. And they both join you, and it's pretty great. They make a great excuse. Flynn pretends like they're his sidekicks, and now there's monsters, so it makes sense that he has these sidekicks, and they fight the monsters, and Rapunzel fights with you, which is great. Mm-hmm. She goes through a lot of the same stuff that she does when she first comes out of the tower in that movie, which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the game looks almost like the movie. It
does.
It is a damn close recreation of the movie.
It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. It looks great. And her tower is great, and you can run all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Rapunzel just the once, I think, and when I saw it, I felt that... Yes, Tangled. If I had seen it when I was younger, it would have been one of my favorite movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. My girls loved it and watched it on repeat for years until Frozen came out, and then it was Frozen.
Ah, makes sense.
And now we don't watch any of them anymore.
Oh,
now we watch Danganronpa, the animation.
And the little boy cat and the man and the cat.
And I play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 with my son.
Believe it.
I do believe it. Actually, it's a pretty great game.
I don't believe that.
It's fun. It is fun.
But when I played this Tangled section, I believe that I spent most of my time during the cutscenes messaging all of you about how excited I was about the Tangled level, because it is so cute.
It's
I
really
think that
good.
You're confusing yourself with me. I think I was the one doing that.
I like the
both did
lizard.
it.
What's the
I
lizard
love
called?
the lizard. I
Pharaoh?
like that Rapunzel
Pascal.
joins you with her. She uses her hair, and Flynn uses a frying pan, which is fun.
And
Oh.
barrel.
Yeah,
And
his,
barrel
like,
sometimes.
his like barrel running attack.
I was a little
is
disappointed
funny.
that we never got to go to the Lucky Duck Inn, and they didn't work that song in, because that song is pretty great, but I don't think that they have any of the music rights to any of the songs. But anyway, I think this was this is the best Kingdom Hearts is. I'm not saying it's the best level or anything. I'm just saying that it's, or the best whatever. I'm just saying I think it's the best version of Sora and gang interrupt a movie. Like, it's always been too awkward and weird, and this one really is fucking seamless. You get to go. You don't get to go to some of the locations, but you go through a lot of. You go through the forest. You go to the. You have the tower. You go through the forest, and you go to the
Quarry,
kingdom.
Sort of. I did find the entrance to the Lucky Duck. Did you find that?
Yes, I did find that. I tried to go in and I could not.
I smashed it and got some coins.
You get to go to the kingdom, which is a lot of fun to explore.
It's
I went
so
back to it,
good. The
and
little
I went back to it
town.
and had a great time finding all sorts of stuff that I missed.
There's like ingredients and chests, and there's NPCs everywhere. It looks so neat.
It looks incredible. So great level. We can go through the details of it if you like, but that's just my overall. What a
Yeah, I
great
mean, it's basically the
fucking
movie.
level.
Although I did like in Corona, because this is really not the case in some of these worlds. They put in mini bosses. There's like the horse cart mini boss and like the dandelion heartless mini boss things. I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, great scene. I don't even know if that it is from the movie, but there's a great scene where you come upon a great huge hill covered in wildflowers, and you get to slide down it, and they all poof up into the air, and it's just like legitimately amazing stuff to behold on the screen, and to be able to run around in it. It's
I
crazy.
thought the swinging too, the way that was directed when you use Rapunzel's hair to swing from one platform to another, looked great. Like the way that there's just so many frames in that swinging animation, it just looks really cool.
It was actually a little janky for me, but it was a little weird. I wonder what it was. It was a little janky.
Interesting.
Yeah, just like it felt like it was like dropping frames or something. I wonder if I still have my Xbox set to like 1080p. No, I might. I think I flipped it over to that for PUBG.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
so this is. I mean, it basically follows the plot of the movie. It's hard to.
yeah, there's not a lot to
distinguish
say.
the
I don't know
two.
that we need to go through each of these pieces, to be honest with you. John will want to talk about the great dancing mini game. Marluxia shows up and kind of works his way into the plot as well by teaming up with the Mother Gothel, and then
he's the purple feathered hair
yeah.
organization guy.
Oh,
Is it purple? To me, it's more
yeah. It's a pinky
Yeah.
purple. It's like
Like
a
a
lilac.
lavender.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, and also my TV, my settings might be a little off.
And there are a few instances, I don't know if we'd really call them minigames, but sort of environmental interactions where Rapunzel gets excited about doing something. Like
Yeah,
a
you can like
pond.
swim with her in the lake,
Yeah.
or you got to bring those birds to her.
And you bring the birds to her. Yeah, how great
You
is
like
that?
blow on the dandelion.
And it really works because Sora really is that character too, like the just childlike wonder at everything.
Yeah. Did you guys do on the dandelion one? If you run into the middle of that dandelion patch and use arrow, it will blow all of the seeds off of all the dandelions, and you'll get like a cool little scene.
Yeah, I used arrow.
Arrow?
Yeah.
Arrow, the
wind
spell.
spell.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's how
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you get the dandelions
Yeah,
to blow.
pretty cool.
At the end, you do go back to the tower, and Flynn does get stabbed, and it really repeats, even though it's not using cutscenes from the movie, but it is damn close. You get that same Mother Gothel stabs Flynn, and then she pulls the knife out, and it's totally bloodless. That has always been weird to me. Always been weird. Like, you at least put a fucking drop of blood on it. Like,
Was there blood in the movie?
No, it's always been bloodless, even in the movie. I always thought it was weird.
By the way, Flynn, also played by the movie voice actor, Zachary Levi.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Dreamy Zach Levi.
It's fun. It's
I
fun
was
to
gonna
have
say
him.
he seemed like a Vanessa boyfriend because he's kind of not skeezy, but like what's it called when he's like trying to steal from you?
Well, he is kind of skeezy. He's a thief. He stole the crown jewels. His name is not really Flynn Rider at all. In fact, it's Eugene.
He's
a real funk and a phony.
Yeah, Vanessa loves a scalawag.
Sure, a scoundrel.
Yeah, a scoundrel.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But Rapunzel, voiced by Kelsey Lansdowne, not Mandy Moore. I think it was Mandy Moore in the feature film, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
But she does a fine job. I didn't mind
Yeah, she's
Rapunzel's
great.
voice at all.
Well,
And,
she was
it's
too
just
busy
charming.
doing Aerith.
The one sort of difference from the movie plot is that as Mother Gothel is falling from the tower, she does turn into a giant monster.
Yeah, she does turn into a big old heartless.
Which is
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah, and I love that the arena for this is just that whole area because it's freaking huge.
Yeah, it's the area around the tower in the valley, and it looks just like it does. Well, maybe not just like, but it looks a lot like it does. The tower certainly does. It's fantastic. And yeah, it's great that it circles you back there and you really have to utilize running up the tower and like dive bombing this thing. At least I did.
That's cool.
Oh, one thing I've wanted to mention, speaking of running up things, how Square Roots repopularized to Kate. Since we started singing it a couple years ago, now Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill is super popular. So
Yeah, it's charting again.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a delay since
You guys are like a month late on this.
That was like a
breaking news.
2020 thing when we were playing PUBG on stream and singing that all the time. But we just wanted to say, like, this is the kind of effect that you, our listeners, can have when you spread our use of this song.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Susan Vega's My Name is Luca to chart next because
Yes,
that would be next on the list.
I think so. Or Billy Joel's The Stranger. All right. So we defeat the mom, the fake mom, and I guess she goes back to being a princess. They kind of skip that part.
Yeah, well, it shows we defeat the mom, and then, Rapunzel doesn't have her hair anymore, so she thinks she can't heal Flynn. But then, as
Her
Flynn
tear
is
does?
dying, her tear does. Yes.
Why does her? Why is that a
'Cause
Kingdom
she's
Hearts thing?
magic.
No, that's her.
Oh.
She's magic, and the power was always inside of her all along. Not
Yeah.
connected to a physical attribute like hair, but connected to her heart.
I remember Tina Fey being real mad about her hair getting cut when she lost her special power. Her hair turned brown. That was the thing that Tina Fey made fun of on either 30 Rock or Kimmy Schmidt. I can't remember which one.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little unusual, but That's
And then
life.
she gets like a pleasant bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's all business now.
And then Flynn and Rapunzel talk
On the
about
other
how they're
hand,
gonna
Tina
fuck.
Fey is still perfectly fine with like, kind of racist jokes and stuff like that. So maybe we don't care what she thinks.
I was just noting it. That's all. So I kind of, admittedly, I have not seen Tangled since it came out in the theater. I was kind of sad for the mom.
What is wrong with both of you?
I felt real sad for the mom, or not mom, but the kidnapper
She's a
lady.
She
Semi-sympathetic
dies in the
character.
movie too. She falls out of the window of the tower and dies.
I mean, she is a kidnapper.
Kidnapper.
Yeah.
Right. I guess that they do, even in this like shortened retelling, they do a good version or good effort at giving her motivation, even if
Yeah.
she's still bad.
She wants to be
Well,
young and beautiful
She's
forever.
she's sympathetic, and who doesn't?
Right.
Well, I don't think she is sympathetic. I think that at first she's sympathetic, but then you realize by the end of the movie that it does not give a shit about Rapunzel and just cares about herself, and all of that facade falls away, and she is just a kidnapper who is kind of a monster.
Yes, she's not outwardly cruel to Rapunzel in the beginning, but she is manipulative.
She's pretty shitty. She's pretty shitty to her, actually. I remember the first time I watched that movie. Like she sings a song where she like calls her fat and runs her down, and it's pretty fucked up.
Maybe it's just the shortened version that I feel sorry for. Then I'm sorry. Don't cancel me. I haven't seen this movie since I was in my 20s. I was gonna say since I was a kid, but no, I was a grown up.
Anyway, then Flynn and Rapunzel thank Sora and friends and talk about how they're going to have sex now. I think that
they do. Mm-hmm. They straight up make a fucking sex joke here.
Yeah.
What is it? What's a sex joke?
Flynn, I guess Sora calls Flynn Eugene, and Rapunzel's like, "Oh, I thought you were only going to tell me what your name is," and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I have something just for you."
Yeah, secrets just for you.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, really? What is it?" And then Sora's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And they're like, "That's just for us to know."
Oh, that's cool. Sora's like, "I want to watch."
It did make me think about which Disney princes hadn't or had sex before they got together with their Disney princesses. Like Flynn for sure, Prince Naveen for sure had sex. Prince Charming, I don't think so. Definitely not Snow White's prince. I mean, that guy, I'm not even sure he had sex with Snow White, to be honest.
He was pretty gay, if that's what you're getting
at.
Yeah. Beard.
Eric, I feel like, is sort of like a train guy, but for boats, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he'd be spending too much time on his boat hobby to be getting with a girl. Prince Adam is tricky because in the cartoon, he was like 10 when he was turned into a beast. But in the movie, it definitely shows him having like fancy French orgies before he's turned into a beast. So it depends on... Oh,
what?
Yeah. For
In which
sure.
movie? In which movie?
In the live-action Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
He's having a straight-up party. He's dressed up in, like, fancy clothes, and there's, like, women on his arms, and it's all debauchery.
Cool.
I feel like you guys aren't as passionate about this subject as I am, so I'm ready to move on.
All right, let's talk about the other world.
Wait. We got a couple of cutscenes.
Oh.
So we get a cutscene with Pete and Maleficent, and this one's really short. It basically is Pete being mad that they haven't found the box yet, and then he's like, "Are you sure this box is even real?" And she's like, "Yes, it's been scribed." And he's like, "What?"
I thought you said that first cutscene was it for Pete and Maleficent in this game.
Well, he was
thankfully
really wrong.
Well, there you don't get much more than these like little snippets.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy. I get to see Pete and wave at Pete and say hello, Pete.
I like Pete and Maleficent. They're fun. They should be a bigger part of this.
All right, so and then we get another cutscene with Riku, and then this is where this is not like a cutscene. So I think he calls Sora on his gummy phone, or Sora calls him.
Yeah, Sora calls. This was weird. I think Sora calls.
Oh God, yes.
Zexin or Ian or whatever.
Oh, Exion.
Exion, but Mickey picks up, and at first you're like, oh, maybe he's got Zexion's phone. Nope. When it cuts to, like, at first you're just seeing Mickey on the phone, but then it cuts to Mickey, and it's just Mickey's, like, outside. He's not gone in yet. So he's there, but he's not there. So how did he intercept the call? What the fuck is this shit? These gummy phones are, like, government tracking devices.
Sora uses too many hashtags when he posts.
Yes, he does. They all do.
Yeah,
so
very cringe, Sora.
Yeah,
nobody does that anymore.
None of the posts are different in any way, shape, or form. They all sound like they're written by the same person, which is weird.
Well,
like there's no personality to the.
Sora wrote them all.
No,
there's
it's
Riku
Sora's social media intern.
It's not just Sora. You see all sorts of posts from all sorts of characters.
I heard that when people used to have landlines, that sometimes
before we were born.
before I was born, you would pick up the phone to call someone, and if someone else had called you at the same time, they would just be like there on the line.
Yes, yeah, that definitely happened to me.
So I think that's what happened with Mickey.
The other night, I was watching TV with Jalen. We were watching the first episode of that Chucky series, and someone used a landline phone, and she's like, "Isn't that weird to have like one of those phones?" She didn't even know what to call it. She's like, "One of those phones is like in your house," and I was like, "Are you talking about a landline phone?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's weird."
It is weird.
Some people say you should still have one for different purposes.
Say 911 access is the main reason people, I think, say that you need to have it, but that's just what the cable people want you to think.
Want you to think.
That's what
They're
big
trying to
telephone.
sell you that landline phone because it's all profit. They already paid for all those franchising rights.
Trying to rent me a phone at $20 a month or something.
The good news is the next level does not repeat the story of the movie, and instead is its own
be further away
wholly fucking original story, including an extra wholly original game that we get to play. It's fucking bonkers.
That has its own commercial.
Yes, lead us into this. So next up is Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Box.
And we fly our gummy ship over to Toy Story. And what happens when we get there, Jim?
You get this. Basically, it looks like a trailer for the newest Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it freaking trolls you because it looks like just a cutscene of more characters and something. But then I'm like, is that supposed to be Squall? No, it's not Squall. It's just someone we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn that it's an ad for a game called Verum Rex.
Yeah, it's like it's like a television commercial that you saw.
Yeah, it's a TV commercial.
The camera
It's
pulls
fun.
out away from the ad, and it's like, Verum Rex coming soon. And you see these little toys watching the ad. I have a confession now, and I guess it's time to just get it out of the way.
Vanessa's Confession Corner. What will she reveal?
I don't
Ooh,
have...
I like that.
It was. I liked it too, actually. I don't have any particular affection for Toy Story.
Wow.
It's
Same
fine.
here, honestly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think all the movies are really good, but like I don't care about it as a property.
I didn't
Yeah.
actually
I feel the same
see
as well.
Toy
I feel the
Story,
exact same.
but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
Yeah,
fine.
me neither.
If they never made another one, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they're still making
Yeah.
them. Like
Yeah.
one felt pretty definitive, and then 2 felt pretty definitive, and then 3 felt really fucking definitive. And then they are like, here's a 4th one, and I was like, I don't know,
Well,
man.
in Toy
Also,
Story
they all
3,
make me cry.
I know.
So-
In Toy Story 3, they all came to terms with their own death,
Yeah.
and then they just
Jesus.
kept making them.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. But people love that Sporky.
Oh yes, Sporky's. I don't think Sporky's in this one, right?
He's in 4. No, he's not in this at
Oh,
all.
I wish he was in this level. That would have...
Oh, Forky
I
was the best.
do like
Is it
that
Forky?
fork.
It's
I don't
Forky,
know.
yeah.
It's Forky
Hey, I'll tell you what,
because
though.
children found the name Sporky upsetting. I remember reading
Yeah,
that.
when Matt shared with me his Disney Plus password, I changed his avatar to Forky.
That is funny. I assumed that one of my kids did it.
I use
It was me.
I use my old roommate's
That was 2
Disney
years
Plus,
ago. It's been that for a long time.
and my avatar is the anger from Inside Out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's short, kind of squat like me.
My avatar's just the Mickey
So-
Mouse because I'm a classicist.
The gang is watching a commercial for Verum Rex, and they love it. And it's weird, though. Why do the toys have a TV in their room that they can just watch commercials on?
Andy has a TV in his room. And
Oh, yeah,
the
that
boys
makes sense.
Can do whatever they
Yeah.
want. And
Because he's missing.
Yeah.
He has been
all
Andy
the
Naps.
humans are missing.
Mm-hmm.
All the humans and most of the toys
Most of the
have
other toys.
vanished.
Oh,
But we do have Buzz and Woody, and
Bud
the
and
T-Rex,
Wooly.
That's from
Potato
the
Head.
We've got
imitation
Bud,
movie
Wooly,
Toy
Triceratops, Humpty Dumpty.
Toy Time. Everyone's favorite imitation Toy Story knockoff.
Spaceman Bud and Rancher Wooly.
Oh man, Spaceman Bud.
Bacon the coin bank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the army men. Gotta have the army men.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that can do anything.
But I was a little upset. I had no Slinky Dog. Like, that wouldn't have been cool to have an attack or some kind of gap spanning, like Rapunzel swing thing, but you're just like walking across Slinky Dog. That would have been great.
Excuse me, Ernest is dead?
They've been doing his voice for a while. He died in like the year 2000. They've been using a different guy for a while.
I forgot it was
okay.
Ernest at first. Wow.
Yeah, Jim Varney, man. R.I.P. So,
Okay, hang on. Jim won't shut up about Woody's voice actor. Buzz's voice actor, Woody's voice actor. He sounds
Woody's voice
fine
actor.
to me. At no point did I even notice he existed.
Oh, I noticed. I noticed all the time. But maybe
like
Jim poisoned that well.
John and I were. Well, I guess I was kind of musing about it before we went on the air. But my theory is that he's trying to match the because I think it was animated to Japanese. I think he's trying to match the so it's not super.
It's not like
noticeable.
they give him a video of the parts and then
I think they had already animated it and they had him do the lines. That's my theory.
watching the video.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Because like his cadence is
John,
weird because
you're
like
a
sometimes
film-
he'll be like that's
executive.
great, Sora. It's really weird.
John. I mean, I think that's just him doing his Woody accent. That's great, Sora.
That I don't know,
That was a little
man.
too goofy.
Like the pauses between lines are much better than they were in the PS2 games, for sure. Like it definitely, they've cut it by 2/3, but there's still a bit of a pause between lines, and and that's how it's animated.
Even words
too.
in the same sentence that like mess up the delivery of a complete sentence.
But I
to
would
me,
assume,
it was really noticeable. But
I would
know what you guys
assume
are
that
talking
it has its own dub, that they're not like doing the Final Fantasy X thing of trying to match the mouth from Japanese.
yeah, that's what
speech.
I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I don't think it's doing that.
Well, yeah. So, but like for the most part, I don't think
You think it would have its own? They would have their own animated scenes with where they're speaking English. Is that what you're?
I mean, I can understand. Well, I can understand why they wouldn't do that.
I mean, that's yeah. Anyway,
I think it's been redirected for the English dub.
But also, Ham is voiced by original Ham voice actor John Ratzenberger.
I was
though.
wondering if that was...
And Wallace Shawn is still Rex.
Oh, I was trying to figure out who Rex was, and I was like, is Cliffy just a Republican now, or is he like a anti-vaxxer loony? I feel like
Cliffy?
he's Cliffy. Cliffy from
Cliffy?
John Ratzenberger. I know he's pretty conservative. He's always been a Republican.
Oh, John, I don't know.
I don't know how Republican he is these days. But it doesn't. I mean, whatever. He's just a pig in this.
Is he
Just a
fiscally
pig.
conservative, or does he believe in the dissolution of the Union and a white Christian ethno-state? That's the question about Republicans.
Well, you don't know. I'm just saying that they need to overthrow the government, and Q was going to come into power soon.
It's more of a Kermit.
That guy. I forget that guy exists, and then people are like, Q, and I'm like, oh, is that still like a thing? It is.
It's
Somehow.
not as much. I think after January 6th, it lost a lot of its steam, but there is still definitely Q.
It looks like in 2020 he was a big advocate for the post office that the Trump administration was trying to gut.
Oh,
so,
well, there you go.
maybe he's maybe he's one of those sensible Republicans.
Yeah.
We basically just call those Democrats these days.
Sick truth.
Truth bomb.
So, Vanessa's sitting there crying in the corner.
I just believe in states' rights. You know what?
So-
That joke was funnier.
What?
Yeah, that joke was funnier before a week ago, so I retract
Before
that
the Civil
joke.
War? I mean,
Yeah.
when?
What are you talking about?
Anyway, Vanessa and I are on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
The Toy Story, they appear, by they, I mean Sora, Donald, and Goofy. As,
I believe it's Sora, Goofy, Donald.
No, it's almost always Sora, Donald, Goofy, except for one time that Rapunzel says Sora, Goofy, Donald. But normally it's Sora, Donald, Goofy. And
Goofy, Donald.
Donald
they
definitely
appear
sucks.
Of course
as,
he does.
as
He's got a wife. He's married to Daisy.
Squaresoft
married.
action figures for this sort of looks very Final Fantasy 15-y game called Verum Rex.
Virum Rex.
And that game looks awesome. I do want to play it. That should be coming up next on Square Roots.
I legitimately thought it was Final Fantasy 15 characters at first because
I did too, because one of them
the
has
guys,
glasses.
Yeah, looks so much like Glasses Guy from 15.
Yeah, if he didn't have the white hair, like the hair's different, then that is fucking it. It looks like a better game too, you know.
But like Rex even says
that's a sick burn.
that Sora looks like the main character from Virum Rex, whose name is Yazora.
Yeah, he doesn't though.
He doesn't.
In fact,
yeah.
he kind of
kinda-
looks like Riku. He looks like a
They're-
Riku.
Their clothes look the same. Like they have the same like flannel.
That's true.
pattern,
Right, yes.
on the
Flannel. It's not
lapels.
flannel. It's checkered. They have these checkered
Plaid.
plaid. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
You're right.
But
Plaid.
you have to think about-
There is so much fucking plaid in this game, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of plaid.
All of their costumes have plaid.
I
I
love
like
it.
it. It makes me comfortable.
What a choice.
My
What a choice.
Volkswagen cloth seats have plaid, and I love it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes or so, Jim makes the same movement.
I have to remove a cat from my lap.
Aw. Mine is sleeping on the carpet next to me. It's very cute. Yeah, so
think
I
it-
like.
Sorry, Johnny. I think
You
it
go
makes
first.
sense that Sora doesn't quite look like the character from this game because if you think about toys and action figures, they often look different than the characters.
No, you think
that they're
Sora's a
supposed to be.
knockoff?
I don't think he's a knockoff, but I just think it's like if we're going by like the face, or something. He could be a knockoff though. They could.
Did I
He's a
show you-
Lego, though, which is weird. Like, why did they think... Because Sora and Donald and Goofy all look like Legos, which I found kind of disappointing.
Sora's
Yeah.
like if you put Virum Rex on the CW.
Have you seen my
But it's weird to me that he
Giancarlo?
would look at this Lego and be like, you look like this anime character. Like, Sora does kind of look like that anime character, but this fucking Lego doesn't.
Yeah,
Jim-
but like they're used to it, They're used to seeing Indiana Jones and then someone brings like an Indiana Jones action figure and it looks nothing like Harrison Ford.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Have you all seen my Giancarlo Esposito Star Wars figure where he looks so bad compared to the Carl Weathers Star Wars figure? Did I show you that?
What are you talking about? These are not characters from Star Wars.
They're from The Mandalorian.
It's not Han, Luke, and Carl Weathers.
Yeah, it is.
It's The Mandalorian and Carl Weathers, and one Carlo Esposito is the bad guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know.
It is Giancarlo.
I thought
Giancarlo.
Werner Herzog was the bad guy.
He died.
I dropped Carl
Anyway,
Weathers' tiny gun.
The first thing that happens after... Oh, no. So we are still... We have talked about nothing that happens in Toyland. So we're in Andy's room, and we explore a bit, but it doesn't... You don't stick around in Andy's room long. It basically... You go out the window onto the roof, and then it lets you run around in the grass, in the front and the backyard, and in the street, which I found interesting.
I think we should
In the
discuss,
driveway, the
though-
sidewalk, in the street.
Yeah, it's fun, but I do think we should discuss what and why we are doing this.
Yeah, what is
I
it
don't
that they...
remember what the reason is you want to go to the toy store. What?
Oh, they think the missing friends will be there, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that it?
The toys, first they have a plan to fight some Heartless that have been showing up. And so they're like all ready to attack, and then Sora and his friends run out and do it for them. And the toys, I think that some of them feel skeptical. Buzz in particular feels skeptical about Sora's arrival. And Woody is like, I think they're probably good guys. We can trust them. They explain that
Yeah.
the
They're
human...
like, well, they killed all those Heartless
Yeah.
earlier, so...
They explain that the humans are missing, and also a whole bunch of their toy friends are missing.
Yeah. I want to say this, too. When you leave the room and go out into the yard, it actually feels like you're a little bitty toy.
It's great.
Like, in, like, a huge world. It's really cool.
It's great. This is so fun. Who doesn't always want to do this, like in a game or something?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a level where you're tiny? And this is just fantastic. And because you're Sora, you can basically fucking fly like Superman. You're Spider-Man, basically. Like, it's fantastic. I hope they make 100 of these games.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this game right now. And I hope that they're all like this.
It made me wish for like a really good Ant-Man game. Like along the lines of the Spider-Man games
Oh,
they do.
man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah.
What a good-
That would be cool.
What a good idea. How fun would that
Imagine
be?
wasping around as the Wasp.
And you know all the different settings like you can do just to have fun. This is a great setting, by the way. Where we end up going is a toy store, which is perfect for...
Yeah, I wanted one critique of the toy store. Why not just call it Al's Toy Barn from the movies? Why does it Galaxy Toys when it can
There's
be Al's
just-
Toy Barn?
There's just weird, yeah. Maybe.
Maybe they're... I mean, not calling it Al's Toy Barn is a way to avoid the whole, like, barn aesthetic they have in there. But, and... Because all these different floors feel pretty distinct, all these different stores.
Yeah,
It's
it
neat.
feels like a big FAO Schwartz or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like a
the
little,
type of thing that
toy
doesn't
mall.
exist anymore. Yeah, it's like a toy mall.
I was
It's amazing
very,
with departments. Video game department, boys department, babies department,
Babies and
girls
toddlers
department,
and Play place.
It
kid
seems like
corral.
Disney making characters walk into a toy store and then go wow for 30 seconds. That just was a little over the line for me. I was like, okay, you can dial this back
Yeah.
a tiny bit, but that is the most amazing toy store you've ever seen in your life. It
Yeah.
looks
Disney
so
has
cool.
any involvement? This is a real question. Do you think Disney has involvement in these games other than like just approval?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do think they have lots of involvement in like level. I think that I don't know. Oh, you mean like in writing? That's a good question.
Well, no, I mean in the game. I don't think that Disney Square develops the game entirely. I imagine that
Right.
they run some of it by Disney, but I doubt that Disney has a lot of involvement
I don't
outside
know.
of approving and probably guiding. Like, oh, well, we definitely want to see
I
Frozen
wouldn't be
and Tangled in
surprised
this
if
one.
like Pixar
That
did
type of thing.
storyboarding or something for it because they seem pretty protective
Yeah.
of their stuff
Well,
sometimes.
yeah, and like usually
Interesting.
when stuff like this is licensed, it's my understanding that like they give you guidelines that you have to kind of write these characters within. Like Woody's positive, helpful,
Yeah.
you know, like
that makes
and-
sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is like guidelines, but that's like character guidelines that you want them to do anyway, right? Like that's
Well, they're like attributes for these characters.
Yeah.
Like use these to ground your writing.
I'm sure they have veto powers on anything.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right about that. Now, is this the first Kingdom Hearts with Pixar?
Good question.
Because Pixar wasn't Disney for a long time. Disney bought Pixar.
But that was a long time ago. That was like 15 years ago or something, wasn't it?
I mean, this game was in development for like 12
Oh,
years,
that's
wasn't it?
True. I haven't played any of the Birth by Sleeps and stuff, so they might have had Pixar stuff. I don't know.
I think it's the first world, certainly, but potentially there were summons or something.
Yeah, that would probably that would make sense. Jim's looking into it. Well, anyway, we go to this toy store and it's fantastic. And there are Virum Rex, the video game that we got an ad for. The toys are the hot toy right now. So that is what we end up finding is a bunch of Virum Rex. There are different things throughout the levels, but for the most part, it's these Virum Rex toys, and some of them are big ol' mechs that you can beat up and then jump into, and it turns into a first-person shooter for a little while. And you know what, guys? It was pretty fucking great. It was pretty great.
So this one wiki article I found says that Jessie, the cowgirl, is a minor supporting protagonist in the Kingdom Hearts Unlimited saga. I have no idea what that is. I don't know if it's a reference to some other collection.
A cell phone. That sounds like a cell phone like collector.
It does sound like it sounds like a Japanese mobile game or something.
Yeah.
But she is
Gotcha
in that,
game.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so but the real answer to the question is yes. Like, this is the first time Pixar has been. Is it? Is this the first time Pixar has been in?
I think
Kingdom
the whole
Hearts?
Pixar world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's multiple in this game, so
Yeah.
like it feels like maybe they just didn't have the opportunity in the other games.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
before it was
Disney didn't know
2005,
Pixar.
right when Disney was like buying Pixar and you
Yeah.
know, so yeah.
And that takes time too. Like, we know Disney
Yeah.
bought Pixar. We know around when that was, but it takes years for those deals to finalize, and then for
Yeah.
everything, all the
like
assets to get.
Microsoft still doesn't own Activision yet.
Yeah. Anyway, mechs.
Mechs,
And there's
mechs,
different
mechs.
colored mechs, and they have different superpowers that you can use, and it's a lot of fun. And I liked bouncing between them. One of them had a rush, one of them had bombs, one of them had a big old laser blast. That was the best one.
Y'all know I
Purple.
don't usually care for a mech, but I did
Sure.
like this, and I don't know why. Maybe because they're not actually big. They're idle. Like, they just seem big because you're
cute.
also idle. It's cute. Yeah.
Also, it makes the game super easy for a minute, so it's hard. I think it must be hard not to like, kind of.
I really
And the
enjoy-
game wants you to be in these because finding other mechs while you're not in a mech is almost impossible.
Yeah, it's
They're
very
really powerful.
tedious. But in the mech, I really enjoyed going up behind them and punching them from behind. Then they fall over, and then you can blast them while they're like, I fell over.
That was pretty fun.
I like
But
shooting
I had-
the tiny heartless that were running around on the ground. That was a delight.
Can I have a John's confession corner? Or
Sure.
Johnny's
Yes.
confession corner?
Johnny's confession corner.
I
What
died so
secrets
many
will he
times to these
reveal?
things when I wasn't in the suit, or like if I didn't have a mech.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, because there's a bunch of mechs around the level, but if you don't get into one, they can wreck you real fast if you are not in a mech. And
I
so
did not have that problem.
I don't know. I guess I'm bad at games. I thought
Yeah,
I was
you're
getting
pretty bad.
better.
But I'm playing on easy, so.
Yeah, I'm playing on.
Are you
just
playing on
normal.
hard?
Just normal. I'm not gonna play on hard.
I don't think I've died at all. I have not found the combat to be much of a challenge. Even the bosses have been pretty. Just smash the button.
Maybe it has to do with how you spec your Sora at the beginning, because you can make those choices about what's.
But I
what
made him all
you
tough.
like.
Oh,
you
really?
picked,
I
like, the
did.
defensive ones.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do defense or offense?
Oh no, offense. So maybe
I did
that's why.
defense. Maybe that's why.
I think
really
did the offense.
I went
yeah.
defense. Give me those secret defense stats. I'm not going to notice that +2 attack throughout the game.
Will you notice the +2 defense?
Well, apparently I will because I didn't die.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so this organization guy that shows up and starts doing all the mechan is young Xehanort. I don't know if we touched on that.
Oh boy,
Young
why
Xehanort.
is there a young Xehanort?
This is the young Xehanort that traveled to the future.
Oh,
It's like, anytime a franchise becomes popular, like The Big Bang Theory, they're like, hey, let's do young Sheldon now. So,
oh yeah, yes, that's what this is. Young Xehanort is like, I'm a little baby Xehanort.
Yep. Xehanort got really popular, and they're like, okay, what can we do with this franchise? How about young Xehanort?
So is Billy Zane doing the voiceovers for young Xehanort? Like, oh, back when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Billy Zane.
Hi, I'm TV's Billy Zane.
He was Ansem in the first game, right? Wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah. Is he
He's
no longer?
handsome everywhere he goes, and by handsome, I mean
Oh,
handsome.
I like how he let himself be bald on Community. That was fun.
He'd just be a bald man, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
bald now.
Yeah. He famously wore a toupées a lot.
Yeah.
Many people do, but not famously because they keep it a secret.
Like Ted Danson.
Like Ted Danson.
Well, but
Silver
he was,
Fox. Silver. It's a toupee.
Silver.
Who's
Nuh-uh.
that one act? Who are the actors that were famous for having bad toupees? John Saxon. is the first one that comes to mind for me. He famously
Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry has a toupee.
Oh, come on.
William Shatner.
Donald
Joe
Trump.
Shatner for sure.
Yeah, Donald. Well, no, I thought Trump had a comb over.
He does have a comb over.
Yeah.
He does. He has very fine baby hair.
Charlie Sheen.
Ooh. Yeah.
What?
Probably
let's
Martin
see,
Sheen. That hair looks very suspicious.
Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds
I
for
can see
sure.
that.
Yeah.
What about Tom Cruise? Must.
Yep.
John Travolta.
Oh,
Has
yeah,
been-
yeah.
Tom Selleck. Gene Simmons. Famously, they think that big mess of hair on his head's a wig.
Gasp.
All right. Well, and you know who else has a wig? Young Xehanort. And
Yay!
he shows up and we mech, and then I don't know. Buzz does not like Sora and like causes problems. It's annoying.
Yeah, he
Buzz's
doesn't want to
heart-
trust Sora.
Yeah, his heart's being a little bit corrupted, I think.
Speaking of, when we get here, I don't really remember. Did the other toys disappear or get kidnapped or something?
Yeah, you have that first fight in front of the like big gumball machine, and then the army guys are like, "Oh no, some of our friends got kidnapped," and it's Rex, Ham, and the aliens get toy napped.
But Buzz and Woody join the party. So once again, you have a party of 5, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Great
everyone's
show.
favorite show.
Yep, classic.
Yeah.
Nev Campbell, Scott Wolf.
I like big parties like this. If you're gonna have AI companions, why not have a fucking bunch of AI companions? They're basically useless anyway. Who cares? Put 30 of them on
Sometimes
there.
they finish
You
a
know,
fight.
like a Suikoden game would really, like a new Suikoden game would really benefit from a bunch of from this because you could have your 100 AI companions just walking around with you everywhere you went.
I do like the way, if you're not in a battle, they kind of mill about in this game. Like, Donald and Goofy will mill around instead of just following you.
Yeah, I noticed Buzz and Woody going like a little further away and kind of like looking around. Like they never find anything, but they go and look like they're doing something at least. Is now a good time to talk about Lucky Emblems and how much I hate them? And
What? I thought you loved
love
them.
them.
I do love them. I've been hunting them down like a motherfucker, but it's so annoying. And the most annoying thing is that sometimes they will alert you to one, but it feels like you have to already be looking at it.
Is it not true, sir?
Is it not true?
Is it not true, sir, that you
Okay.
have outsourced your lucky emblem finding?
To a child?
Child labor,
Connor found
child
a couple
labor.
for me. Child labor. Connor did find a couple for me the other day when he was bored when I was working.
You can have half a granola bar every time you find a lucky
He
emblem.
did not do it for long. He got tired of it after about 30 minutes. He found like 2 though, but he got on Olympus. But he got tired after like 30 minutes and went back to Roblox or whatever the fuck it is they do these days. Fortnite.
There was one where Goofy kept telling me there was one by Andy's desk, and I just couldn't find it, and I got so angry.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm wasting 20 minutes here.
Did you find it? I think I found that
No.
one on my. It's you have to stand on the desk and look to your left if you're looking into the room.
Okay.
Look to the left, and it's like on the wall, or it's like on the bookcase. It's one of those, sometimes they're like emblazoned in something, and sometimes you just 3 circles line up if you look at them from the right direction.
I thought it might be like a witness thing. I was like, I
think it might be that. Either that or it's
time
an
for
emblem
this.
and it's just on an item on the bookcase or dresser or whatever the fuck it is that's on that wall. It's over there. I did the same thing, except for I was under Andy's bed when they said it, or coming out from under Andy's bed when they said it, and so I spent 20 minutes searching around Andy's bed for it and was it's
Damn
so
it,
fucking
Andy.
annoying. It's so fucking annoying.
I found one that
I
was
found
a pile
the-
of leaves.
Yeah, that one took me a while to get like in perspective. Totally, I was trying to run up the house and take a picture of it.
Yeah. There's a good one in the toy store in the girls department of like 3 disco balls that if you
Oh,
look
that's
at them on top of a shelf, you can see Mickey. It's great. That's fun. I love it. But I did, because I don't want to get too far ahead of the podcast, I went back and replayed all the worlds and searched for all the emblems, and it is a frustrating endeavor. And I have not found them all except for Twilight Town, though I do have a shitload now. I'm down to like 3 or less in every world left.
That's cool.
And I think some of them maybe you need to come back around for. So, I don't know. All right. Anyway. Buzz
All
hates
right.
us.
We got to find our missing toy friends.
Mm-hmm.
This toy store.
They're like worshiping a UFO.
In
That
the
was pretty
babies and
fun.
toddlers section.
Mm-hmm.
This toy store is 3 stories, and it has a giant gumball machine in the middle, and the gumballs come out of the ceiling. So you can climb up the inside of the gumball machine and then use that to slide up to each floor, which is pretty fun. And also up to where the gumballs come out, where there's some treasure.
How much do you think it costs to buy one of these gumballs? Like, if this store really existed and had a giant gumball machine that was like its big centerpiece,
Well,
how much would they be charging each kid to get a giant gumball thing out?
I feel like it's one of those
$2?
things that for a long time would have been a loss leader that they would have just always charged 25 cents for.
Yeah.
Right,
No
until
kid
these
is gonna have
nostalgic
$2.
adults are
But
coming
at this
through now.
point, IRL, that's not how it is, and nobody does that, and they really are like fucking $5. Like, it sucks.
And I bet it's
Dollar
not
at
even
least.
a gumball. It's probably a plastic ball, and then it has like something inside it, right? Like a cheap gumball, a sticker, and a coupon for 5% off a purchase in the store or something.
If that was a ride at Disneyland where you're in like a sphere, like a like a gerbil sphere kind of, and you drop through that, would you? But it was, let's say, seated, so the seats are attached to the inside of this gumball. Would you ride that down?
Does the seat go upside down, or
Yeah,
does the
I mean, of
ball
course
roll around it?
Oh, I guess you could have a gyroscopic seat. I'm going to say it's going to go upside down and all over.
I don't want to go upside down and all over, but I would go in a gyroscopic seat.
Okay. Good to know. Because that'd be pretty fun. It'd be like a Tower of Terror, but whipping around.
I don't like to be whipped or bumped. I don't mind going upside down.
Put that in your Vanessa journal.
Put that in your Vanessa journal. I don't mind going upside down in a very smooth way. You know?
Okay.
I like a smooth roller coaster.
Did you like the Tower of Terror?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
I first went on Tower of Terror with Vanessa's mom. And, it takes your picture when you're being dropped in terror. And we went afterwards to look at the picture. And everybody on the car was screaming and looked very scared. And we both just had giant smiles on our face because we laughed the whole time we were going up and down.
There's this opposite picture of me with my friend Robbie and a couple of my other friends. And everyone except for Robbie was having the best time. And Robbie's just there looking petrified. It was so... I love that picture. He looks like he's having the worst day of his life. It's amazing. Because a little child behind him is like smiling and waving to the camera.
But Tower of Terror is very gentle. Like, the way it's engineered, you don't jostle.
No, you do
It's
plummet.
very, very smooth.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time I took Jalen to the state fair? And you know how Jalen's really tall for her age. She was tall enough to ride some of the really fast ones at the Texas State Fair. And did I tell you about the time I took her on the one that whips you around? You're strapped into this thing, but it also flips you at the same time. It's terrifying. But I took her on it because she wanted to go. And my niece, who was with us, took a picture of Jalen and I on this. And I'm having a blast. Jalen is crying and she looks so terrified.
Wow.
Those state fair rides are genuinely terrifying, though, because
Yeah.
if you're going
how
to die
shoddily
on a
they're put
roller
together.
coaster, it's probably one of those. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Wow.
Wow. So we go to the various parts of the toy store. Right?
Yeah, so we go to babies and toddlers, we get the aliens. Ham is in the doll store, and we have to fight the spooky doll boss.
That was
Babies and Toddlers is great.
weird.
Because there's blocks, and who doesn't love wood blocks?
Wait, can we talk about the spooky doll for a second?
Yes.
Vanessa,
Oh,
you
I
said
love that.
this was real creepy.
It was. It's because it doesn't look like a Toy Story World toy. It
No,
doesn't
it
just looks
like a
Disney
weird-
kind of toy.
It's like an Uzumaki doll.
Yeah.
This
I don't
is
know what that
Samara
is.
from The Ring.
It looks like something out of a Persona game. Like, I would not be
Yeah.
surprised to fight it in Persona.
Yeah.
That's what happens to
Bye,
me.
John.
That's why I'm Waluigi.
I found this to be very frustrating, not because the doll is hard, but the doll is like flanked by these like bouncy stuffed animal things that just constantly do AoEs, and I kept getting stun locked by them, and it was really frustrating.
I realized that you can, if you charge your Keyblade up and then switch to another Keyblade, it'll just keep the charge.
Yeah.
So I tend to go into big fights with a couple of charged up Keyblades,
that's a good idea.
Which is pretty handy because you can have 3, and you have 3 at this point.
Vanessa, check out the chat.
I had a lot of success by staying in the air for this fight. Because once you sort of get into a combination, you can stay up there. Oh, Johnny has sent the picture of his friends on Twitter. Oh, poor guy. So if you kind of get up into the air and stay there, then I think you'll have a pretty easy time with this doll. That was my experience.
Yeah.
And
I
you
had to
gotta
fight
really
this
stay on
twice.
her. Yeah.
Because I beat her and then paused it and then walked away, and like my power went out for several
bummer.
hours.
It was out for a
Something
long
happened.
time.
Yeah, it was a real
Yeah.
bummer. That's how I really leveled up. I almost burned down my house.
Oh,
And where is Rex here? Is he in the? There's
There's a video game store.
Oh yeah, he's in the video game store. But you find him later. So once you defeat the doll and get Ham back, and you have the aliens, a little window unlocks in the play place area. And you have to go through this little window into the play place, and this is where you have to drive the mechs to stack the blocks to reach the vent at the top of the room. And as you stack the blocks, they become a big old cactuar. This was really
yeah, I
cool.
love that. It took me way too long to find the second set of blocks. I was like,
Oh, me too. It took me
looking
forever.
and looking. Vanessa, I did post another picture from the same trip.
Oh,
It's pretty great. The girl behind him's so happy.
I know. Everyone looks pretty happy on these. I don't know if it's because, like, when we first went, I think it had pretty recently opened, so people didn't know what was going to happen to them, and they did not care for it.
And this was a middle of the week trip, so it wasn't like the weekend people. This was like, I think, locals, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's when you go.
Yeah.
I went on a drop ride that's on top of the Stratosphere Hotel. I don't know if it's still there, but that's a great one because you're already so high up on the little tower, and then you get in the drop ride and you go even higher.
Scary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
How was
super
that?
fun. It's great. You get a really nice view.
Oh, okay.
So, Cactuar. Did we talk about
Cactuar.
going into the Virum Rex video game for a while? That was great.
That's right after this. So when you get to this like darkness corridor or whatever, young Xehanort sends you into the video game Virum Rex.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you get to do this like little arena battle with all these other mechs. It's really cool.
I did not like this
Oh, why
It
not?
wasn't great.
because it's just an enemy wave. I don't like enemy waves, and it's
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
mechs, and I don't like mechs. I did not like it.
I thought it was fine, but like it's a fun idea, but I didn't go back to it, you know? Like it gives you the opportunity to go back and like play it again, and I was, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
We saw that. I think. Is this the one that? Yes, I think this mini game I did so well at that it. I think it was this one. Oh no! You know what? I'm mixing it up with Indigo Prophecy. I forgot to talk about it though. During Indigo Prophecy, there's that mini game where you like it's like first person shooter, or you're like in a gun range.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I kept getting the timer number up so high that like it would just never end. It was fucking ridiculous.
I wish there was a Kingdom Hearts world that was Indigo Prophecy New York City.
It's cold. Sora is here.
I wish that
Oh
there was
no,
a
it's the
Kingdom
Orange
Hearts-
Clan.
I want a Kingdom Hearts world that is not Indigo Prophecy. What's it called? We
Heavy
played
Rain.
it. No, it's about
Detroit
a
Become Human.
woman who wants sperm. Parasite Eve.
Parasite
in New
Eve.
York City.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, we need more Final Fantasy worlds.
Yeah, there's
Square
there's
Enix
never been a
worlds.
Final Fantasy world, and there's
not even
no
any Final Fantasy characters in this game. Not
The
until
only
DLC.
Final Fantasy character we've seen is the fucking cactuar.
Yeah,
But it's cool. It's a giant cactuar.
it looks pretty cool too.
And you
it's
run
like,
up it.
it like lights up.
Let's not talk about
It's
the
really
Cactuar
cool.
before we get to the Cactuar.
We are got the cactuar.
Yeah, we're at the cactuar.
We're past the
then
Cactuar.
Let's get into exactly what happens with this Cactuar then. There's no need
We
to
did.
gloss over it. Did we?
Yes,
we
we
talked
did.
about
Yes.
moving the
It
blocks
assembles.
with the robot
Yeah.
and how
Yeah,
it
with the
forms
blocks.
a cactus?
Yes.
Was I
Vanessa's
so
having a real Matthew
entranced
moment.
by the pictures that Johnny sent that I just missed it entirely?
And then there was like a du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du, and then it falls over, and they're like,
yeah,
it's a,
you do get
it's
the
a
victory
cactus.
fanfare,
That's right,
and then
you get
it
the victory
falls over.
fanfare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
mean,
they don't
there's
call it.
Xenohort time.
They don't say the word cactuar. They only
Well,
say
they
No,
don't
they,
cactus.
I
I
think
think Goofy's like, it's a cactus.
Mm-hmm. I
then
guess
you get to run
in
up it.
universe, Goofy doesn't know that, but he does know the name of Xemnas and all these other people.
Well, he's
So-
met them. If he met a Cactuar and it was like, how do you do? My name is Cactuar, then Goofy would know that name.
You know, if you're gonna put in the like Disney attraction things as almost like summons, man, let me summon a cactuar. Let me summon the little turtle knife thing. Let me summon Ultros. Like, why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Ultros would be a great addition. He could be like, oh, Kyrie, Octopus Prince, I love women. Very in line with the tone.
Wouldn't
this
it be
game's
cool
going
to
for.
like summon a Vivi and he would stay in and do like a bunch of magic attacks and then disappear?
We already have a VV. His name is Donald.
Oh, that's true.
Is this when Xenohort turns Buzz evil? Did we fight Buzz? I can't remember.
No. We get a scene with them, and young Xehanort is like, there's so much darkness in you, toys. And then Woody's like, no.
So stupid.
Woody's like, no, there's not darkness.
Oh, that scene.
Because-
And as he says that, the darkness around them like retreats. I like that scene, but it was
Yeah.
very silly.
This
There's
is
some-
where some of the most egregious Tom Hanks' brother voice acting is.
There's some stuff here where Xenohort talks about is interested because he realizes that these toys have hearts. So, hearts can be held in, fake things. This is information that I didn't have. That's my Xenohort impression.
So, but like what happens here is that he explains how he says like the heart or darkness is the heart's true state or whatever, and then you get this big argument about it, and then like he sends you to like a toy world and you have to fight that big flying thing in the toy city that can rearrange itself.
Oh, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah, that
one.
was fun. Because the thing can like everything is destructible and movable and made of like foam blocks, so you can wreck
And the
stuff
city streets are like one of those blankets or mats that you could get as a
they're
kid
like
with
those
all the
rugs.
roads.
That Jalen used to have a rug like that had all
those
the
are
roads and
fun.
stuff on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. But yeah, you beat this boss and we have to explain something else too. That young Xehanort tells us that the reason why there's no other toys or human beings around is because they've separated this world in two to like do an experiment on these toys and like removing Andy from their lives, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which
But
makes
that
sense because I believe that these toys do not have hearts of their own. I think that Andy imprints part of his heart on his toys. Prove me wrong.
Oh.
The game says otherwise. The game says that they have hearts.
Yeah, they
Proven
do.
wrong.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. but they find their hearts by remembering Andy's love. And
All right,
even though Andy isn't there, he's still there in their hearts.
Yeah. And we fight the big flying thing, and then we beat it, and then Buzz is like, hey, thanks, guys. You haven't really fixed anything. We don't know where Andy is, but thanks for hanging out with us. Maybe it'll happen eventually.
So I assume we're coming back here at least.
No.
It does play a instrumental version of "You Got a Friend in Me" over this level.
Oh, the whole
On
time.
repeat.
The whole
time. It's so
Thanks for
fucking
mentioning
annoying.
that.
Also, I don't know that it is an instrumental version of "You Got a Friend in Me." I think it is a
Yeah, it is.
knockoff version of "You Got a Friend in
You
Me."
think that they didn't want to pay Randy
Newman.
Newman money? And so they're like, you have a pal, I know. You got a pal, I know.
I've got a pal in you.
I was at like a hangout kind of party once, and we were singing karaoke, and everybody started singing "It's the Time of Your Life," which I guess is from Bug's Life. And I had never heard this song before.
Had
but
the time of your life, and I've never felt this.
So live it well. And it was like a thing where everyone in the room knew all the words to this song and was singing
Wow.
it so
Weird.
enthusiastically. And I had never heard it before. And I'm like, am I going insane? Like, is this an alternate universe thing? What is this song? It's nothing like anything we've been singing. It's not a Journey song, but they're just like, it's the time of your life. So live it well. It was bizarre.
I loved that movie.
What?
Do you remember that song?
I don't
No,
remember that
not
song
at all.
at all.
And I watched the shit out of that movie because I love Dave Foley and I love Pixar. Underrated Pixar movie.
I went to
it's
like a
not from-
piano and sing along night at an English pub once, and like a gay pub, and everyone was singing all these songs I'd never
They
heard.
have so many weird songs.
I know.
Very interested in this song called Three Lions, which was written by some comedians in like the early 90s or something, but it's become this massive hit. It has like 40 million views on YouTube because every time England's little football tournament is held in England or something, it charts again. So it's like been the #1 song in the UK 3 times, and it's just like, we like football very much, hooray, hooray. Like, it's just a straight up song about football and how great football is. And
These are
people
like old-timey.
millionaires based on it.
Like old, this was like a song from maybe the turn of the century, like
like-
old Mrs. Williams's panties or something. I don't know.
Oh, I do
Knickers.
like to live beside the seaside.
Yeah,
Oh, I do
yeah,
like to
exactly.
live beside the
And that's it for this
sea.
chunker, I think.
Yeah, that's it
Yeah,
for
no,
this chunker.
that is it for this chunker.
Was there another
Next
cutscene?
Next time we're going to be playing through Monstropolis and Arendelle.
Ooh. Now, is Arendelle from Lord of the Rings? Is that part of this?
No, Arendelle is Frozen.
I've never seen Frozen. Do you think I'll be lost?
Don't worry if you've it's basically the movie again, and if you're wondering if it's going to have a full-on Let It Go musical number,
Does it?
does.
Fuck
It
yes.
does.
It better.
I
fucking
mean,
better.
the entire song in a cutscene.
Great.
Oh,
Yes,
in a
it's a
cutscene,
great
it's
song.
not like a. It's not like
No,
a.
it's not like an
musical.
Explorer. It's you're watching
That's
watching
funny
the
because
movie.
they have been avoiding the songs. They avoided
Yeah,
all of the songs in
pal I
Tangled.
know.
When this was being developed, like that song was like the biggest song in the world. So like you damn
Oh,
sure
you know
they're
what?
gonna put
Tangled
it in the game.
does use the music because it does do the music for the hair for the
Oh, it
flower.
does, yeah.
I remember that now. So it does use some of the
You're
music,
a
I guess.
rancher. I'm a spaceman.
Ooh. I don't know what Jim's drinking, but it looks nice.
Me.
You've got about no, you can't. It's too close, Vanessa.
Yeah,
too
it's-
close.
yeah.
In my Cactuar glass.
Oh, awesome!
Hey.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I've
Okay.
got a pal in Texas.
Hey, Matthew, why don't you sing me into my corner?
John's bullshit mini game corner. He's got a pal, you know.
It's true. And his name is Ratatouille. And I was helping Ratatouille cook all these delicious...
Same as Little Chef.
Okay, most of Ratatouille's dishes look really good, except for the eel one. That looks disgusting.
Yeah, I got a lot of eel. What do you think about the mini games, though? I felt like they were very WarioWare-ish. Like they're super fast.
Yeah.
They're too short, yeah.
I love it. No, I like it. I think it's
You
great.
have to chop, 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 and then stop chopping when the imagination flies over your head.
Yeah.
And then you...
Jim, have you ever played WarioWare? Any of the WarioWare games?
I don't think so.
I've played WarioWare. Is it similar?
Fuck you. Yes, you're right. I mispronounced it. WarioWare.
Thank
Wario
you.
and Mario. WarioWare is a great series, and they are like 10-second mini games like this. It's
He
fun
says
as
his
shit.
name all the time.
I know. I talk how I talk, John.
You're
Excuse
right.
me, but aren't you going to ask me if I've played them?
Yeah. Vanessa, have you played any of the WarioWare games?
No.
They're great. I like the one in the GameCube where you're balancing turtles. That one's my favorite. It's got this
They're
really
very-
great Anka song.
Extra meta weird. I think there's one out for the Switch right now, actually, and I think I heard it's good. That might be a good one to. You know, the problem is as it is with all Nintendo games, is that with most video games, I wait until they're half price, and that never happens with Nintendo games.
Well, you know what? The physical ones sometimes you can find for cheap. I just gotta bite the bullet and order the WarioWare Gold that has almost all the mini games. The one that came out for 3DS.
I've heard about that.
There's the choppy one, and then there's egg breaking, which I think is my favorite. That one,
I
you're
like that one the
breaking is
most,
great.
yeah.
Souffling or whatever it is, flambéing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
flambeing is a lot of fun. I think those are the three. Is there another
I
one?
am
Another
bad
one?
at seasoning the
Oh.
pepper and salt.
That's right,
one.
the salt and pepper.
Oh,
that one's
right.
tough.
Yes. Yeah. I've only done that one once. I think.
Anyway, I think they're super fun.
Yeah,
and
they're
I
all
like you
fun.
do it, and you create meals for yourself, and then you can eat the meals and give yourself little bonuses.
I spent
And
half
if you
an hour.
if you get like an excellent job on all of them, you can earn the Bistro stars to get it to
Yep.
like 5 stars.
I've
And
got
every
2
time
stars
you increase
so
the
far.
star ranking, you get a little gift from Scrooge.
I found it gave me a secret menu that it would let me cook off of, and
What?
I fucked it up. I fucked it up, and it would not let me back into the secret menu.
Oh, you got a secret menu?
Yeah, I got the secret
Aw.
menu as well. I think you get it from the other bullshit mini games, which involve finding large flans in the world.
Oh, that is how you get the secret
What?
menu, yeah.
Oh, is it? I
haven't
love
found
the
it, though.
flans. I love
I haven't
them.
found
Have you not
these
played
yet.
The flan games?
Flans.
I
I
haven't.
call them flans.
Flan games?
That actually is that was the main thing that Connor actually did help me with, is he beat one of the flans for me that I could not beat, the one on Olympus. I was having a tough time, and he just picked it up and was perfect at it. It was crazy.
Yeah, and so they are called the Flantastic 7, and there's
Oh.
7 of them scattered throughout the game.
I'll have to find these flans so I can
So
talk
there
they're
are
about.
only
different
7 worlds in
games.
this game, is what you're saying? Because there's one in every world.
The one that I always remember from Corona is the orange one that's got like chocolate on it with a little orange hat. It's and they all look different. They're really cool.
And you play like a Pokemon Snap game with it.
Yes, that one is a lot of fun. That was tough. Like, you had to catch them. Some of them I could never seem to figure out what the correct time was.
Yeah, you have
But
to
a
catch
few of them, it
doing
was
their
easy, and that was
special
enough.
action.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It is super fun. One of them is the one on Olympus. You run through Olympus in a teacup, basically, and like knock over flans, and you have to knock over enough to if you score high enough, which I think it's over 10,000 points in all the games. But if you score high enough, it'll give you an ingredient. It'll give you like an orange or an
yeah, because some of them are very hard to find. You can't
strawberry.
even complete the base menu without. We can't fully complete the base menu without doing these things. I don't think.
wow, annoying.
John, is there another mini game you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I played a few of these. The classic games.
Classic Kingdom is fucking great.
Yeah, they're like basically Game & Watches, and like they even show the full LED, like every single
Yes,
pose.
it's cool, man.
Just
I
like the old
had,
Game & Watches.
Yeah, I'd never had a Game & Watch, but I had the there were other
Tiger.
ones like
Yeah,
Tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Like, I had a Street Fighter one of these.
Yeah.
That was a Street Fighter game.
How does that even fucking work?
Not very well.
Yeah, none of them work very well. These work better than any of them ever did, and
Yeah.
they're pretty fun. There's one where you control
The
Mickey
taxi
and...
one is good.
Oh, I haven't done the taxi one. There's one where you
Neither.
control Mickey and Sora, and you have to hit guys. There's all 4 buttons are involved to hit guys that are coming down,
cool.
like rows on the left or right. It's pretty fun. It's good.
I really liked the very first one you get, which is like moving around the giant. John used it as the episode art for the last episode.
Yeah, that one.
That
yeah.
one's really fun.
Just because the
Did we
giant
describe-
was hot, obviously.
Maybe we should. Did you describe, John? Did you describe what Classic Kingdom is?
Yeah, they're like little Game & Watch games that you play on your phone,
That you play on your
and you
telephone.
find
They're
them
apps on your
hidden
fucking
in
phone.
chests. They're usually in chests, like kind of hidden out of the way.
They're in
so-
the bigger chest too. You think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
they're
something
fun.
really cool, and then it's just a Classic Kingdom game.
Yeah.
See, I like them. When I find them, I'm always like, yay.
I'm always like,
and
I hope this is equipment, and it never is.
Well, it's never equipment. I don't do that in this game.
I know.
John, you forgot to talk about Corona dancing.
Oh yeah, there's also Corona dancing, which you should not.
Everybody
do
wears a mask.
during Corona.
Everybody wears a mask
because
and-
they're not social distancing. But basically,
Does the
you have
Corona
to.
do
It took me a
shot?
little while
Do
to figure out
shot. Put
how
on your
this
mask.
one
Put on your mask.
worked
Stay
because
home. Stay
basically
home.
there's circles that appear and those equate to the moves that you want to do, and you and circles sometimes appear around people, so if you do that move then they'll become your dance partner. You can do flourishes like Sora always does, like go jam on a barrel or whatever.
Yeah.
And the dancing's pretty fun. I like this scene. Is this based on a part of
You can do it
Rapunzel
again if you
or
go back.
Tangled?
Yeah, she goes. Yeah, it's based on a scene of them going to the. Yeah, this is what happens in the movie. They go and there's a festival and they dance and have a great day and
Yeah. I
fall
thought
in love.
this one
And then
was
he
like.
sells her out for a crown and gets murdered.
I thought this whole like dance minigame was like just tricky enough to be really consistently engaging. I think.
It's short.
liked
It's
that
fun.
Sora could choose any of the villagers to dance with, including men or
Yeah.
women.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
Yep.
some of them were twirling, and some of them were like stomping. It was fun.
Well, so that was like X. It was for me. It was what, green or red, and you had to hit
Yeah.
the corresponding color.
Right.
And they were stomping, or they were twirling. But yeah, it was awesome, and that's men and women strolled into. There was no. You kind of
cool.
wanted.
No gender distinction in this dance.
Yeah, pretty great.
And then once you get your meter up high enough, you get to dance with everyone in like a conga line all around the square.
I like that you can run through the town and smack the vendors' stalls, and items will pop out, and you're just like, "That's mine now." It's just theft.
Oh
Sora.
yeah, I do like. There are a few of these areas in the game, like these cities, where you can run around and like swim in the. You can swim in the lake and find
Yeah.
ingredients. And
You can swim. I don't know if you can access it. I don't remember if you can access it here or if you can only access it when you go back. But you go to the wharf in Corona and you
I
can
went
jump
the
into the
first time.
water.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
really? You can jump into the water and swim around and like it's great. It's cool.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I kept expecting, like, when I approached Corona to be disappointed by the size of the level. I think because I've been burned by Kingdom Hearts games before, but I was not disappointed.
Corona's
Yeah,
almost too big.
remember
The
that
forest is
Wonderland?
too fucking long.
Wait till you
Legit.
get to the Caribbean, where it lets you navigate a giant, huge map in a pirate ship. It feels massive.
Wow, that sounds like a great game. I'd love to navigate a giant, huge map
It's-
on a pirate
it's-
ship.
you know what?
If only
It's
I
actually-
had friends who would play with me.
I mentioned to
It's
Paul the other
actually
day
really
that you
well
keep
done.
talking about that game, and he was like, "Well, I got bad news. That ship has sailed."
No.
I did play like 3 hours of PUBG today, though, so 2 hours of PUBG, maybe. Anyway,
I would totally play that with you, Vanessa. Anyway, so that's it. There's quite a lot of mini games, but they're pretty fun.
Cool. Well, you know what? I think that's it for this episode of Square Roots. All that's left is to introduce our Patreon. Johnny, would you like to
no,
tell the listeners
don't want to
about our
skip the
wonderful
squarely
Patreon?
against section.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't
wait.
sk-
Yeah, what are you
everyone
guys squarely
loves
against?
this.
I am roundly for this whole fucking chunker. Everything from start to finish in this chunker was a delight, and I loved it. And I wish that every chunker of every game we played was like this. What about you, Vanessa?
I am roundly for the city of Corona. Not in real life, obviously. Different connotations to that word now, but in Rapunzel land, I love it. It's great. Really, really cute. I wanted to spend a lot of time there. I might even go back and just look around and have a great time because it's lovely. How about you, Johnny?
I am squarely against you have a pal I know repeating on loop for 2 hours in this game. That was nightmare inducing. What about you, Jim?
I am roundly for the Keyblade that you get from the toy box, which is the favorite deputy Keyblade.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
It turns its first form change is the boost hammer, which is like this giant hammer that can, like, when it lands on the ground,
It's like a rocket
like
hammer.
Like the ground like fractures.
Yeah.
It's super cool, and then that turns into the drill punch, which is
Drill
another
punch
cool
is a
form
fucking
change.
legitimate like boss slayer. It just
the drill
wrecks
punch is amazing.
everything.
It's so fun to use. I used this Keyblade throughout the majority of the game on my first playthrough, and it didn't switch it until towards the end.
The one
it's
that you get
super
here
cool.
is, and I just want to say quickly, the one that you get here is Ever After. I think is fantastic as well. It's basically your magic. And your magic Keyblade, I think we had something similar like this in the last one. I don't remember what it was.
You
though.
get you either get like a strength focused Keyblade, or well, they can either be strength focused, magic focused, or well balanced.
But this one turns into a staff, and you fly around shooting magic, and then at the end, when it does its finisher, Sora slams it into the ground, and a giant Rapunzel's tower grows, and then fires a giant, basically circle of light down that hurts everything that it touches, and it's
That's amazing.
it really wrecks a room, which is pretty great.
Super cool. All right,
Patreon.
well now John can tell our listeners about our sweet Patreon.
We have
You guys
a
heard of Patreon?
If you've heard of that, it's a service to help fund your favorite projects, including this podcast. For $3 a month, you can get access to every single bonus episode, which we post regularly once a month and hardly ever forget to post them.
June's is up. It's up. It's on.
It's
It was
up
2 days
almost
late.
in June.
Oh, was it June? I thought we
even
released it the
mention it?
first of the month, not the
No, it's
always at the
last of
end
the
of-
month.
It's at
whatever
the end
month,
of the
yeah.
month, yeah.
No,
There was-
nobody said anything.
Nobody was like,
Guys.
where's
Yeah.
my June bonus?
So, for $3 a month, you get access to every single bonus episode. The latest one is us talking about Indigo Prophecy,
For a
game
long
that
time.
you may or may not like. You will enjoy Jim's sobriety.
Lack of sobriety.
Slowly descending as the episode goes on, to the point where at the end we're all just kind of teasing him.
You are. I only have like a vague memory of that, and listening to it all again was really funny.
And
I like it. Like at one point, Matthew's like, "Jim, do you believe in God?"
I was trying to get at Jim's metaphysical
Yeah.
corner out of you.
so
Jim was just like,
and then for $5 a month,
like,
you can vote.
My favorite part was you guys yell at me because I say that I like the game, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, "Guys, I fucking hate this game." And you're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. You were a little bipolar.
So the for $5 a month, you can vote, and there will be a vote. I don't think this game's super long, so in a few weeks, we'll probably have one up in a week or two, I guess. Like
Yeah,
2
we should
weeks, we're
probably
gonna have,
start talking about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk more about it soon. But for $5 a
What if
month,
it
you get to
was-
vote.
What if we
What if
played
it
this
was-
year? Oh, we did
what if
Final
it was-
Fantasy Tactics.
What if
Yeah.
it was Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC for the bonus in July?
no
It's
suggestions.
not your month.
No suggestions.
We were told not to make any suggestions, and I
No
don't think we
suggestions.
should, because here's some behind-the-scenes information about Matt. Every time someone makes a suggestion during his
Yes.
work, he happily
Yes.
agrees to it, and then later claims that he was forced.
Yeah, don't tell Matt what to do. Matt
This is
will
a
come up
wild
with...
distortion of the truth.
No, it is not.
It's Absolutely 100% accurate.
How dare you put my own words in my mouth?
Anyway, for $5 a month, you can vote, and there's going to be a vote coming up pretty soon. And we'll have more info on that soon. Anyway, but no matter what you give, we will thank you, and we thank a chunk of listeners every time, starting with Matthew.
Hey, I'd like to thank Nicholas Moriarty, Julian Curtis, Joshua Rose, David Arnold. Oh, hey, it's Amanda P., Esteban Gonzalez, Mike Klein, James, Rachel, Evan K., Seth G., and Wishbone is gay. Jim, who would you like to thank?
I would like to thank Kodab Games, Eduardo Franco, Jackie Daytona, Chad Wilson, RP Siege, Coke Zorro, Angel, Butts on Parade, Vanessa Fan, Eric Pitkameni, Keysby Knight, and Eric Poirier. How do you pronounce that again?
Well, I think he does pronounce it Poirier.
Eric Poirier.
I think he pronounces it the American way, I think.
It's the American way. Poirier.
Yeah, Poirier.
Poirier.
Oh, Poirier.
Yeah.
Poirier. This guy
Vanessa, who would
needs
you
a
like
new
to
name.
thank?
I would like to thank Adam H., Metal Gear Solid 2 in 2022, Jesse's Mom's Pizza, Jeremy Schreffler, Cerebus
Jerry.
Minotaur, DP 2099, Ian Frederick, Your Platforming is Bad and You Should Feel Bad, Johnny Five Alive,
bad. You should feel bad.
Zeno Gussie, John Scala, Zemnis' real name is Seaman. Johnny, bring us home.
I'd like to thank Rubber Bear, the Bear in Rubber, Nia Mazzini, Jack Mizell, Kita Renee, Prince Fuentes wants to make the world smooth. Arthur A, Aiden Marriott, Fresh Eyes, WWE, Mike G, Dylan Rowe, Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Tired of NFD's Nuts, Joshua W. Broxson is dreaming of a Dr. Steven Stone 500 completion, and Jason Timms.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group, for smart, cool, very attractive people, or on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Don't forget to rate us on, whatever thing you use, like iTunes or Ghana or Spotify or Stitcher. Any of those. Just put a little rating. Come on, it's not that hard. Just take your friend's phone, stupid, and just rate it on their phone,
Are you
too.
doing a Steve Brule?
Yeah. It just turned
I
into
like
Steve
it.
Brule. And thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
Hey, Spotify listeners, we played Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and if you'd like to hear those series, look around wherever you find podcasts that aren't on Spotify.
All right, everyone. For Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Banks.
I'm Johnny Banks.
And I'm Vanessa.
Banks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Yeah.
Nice and tight. Even though Jim does not have a mustache.
Johnny's back.
I am going to mute one of Johnny's.
Oh yeah.
Intakes.
Mute the one with the video.
That one's actually not registering any audio, so I think
Yeah.
it's good.
So,
Okay.
just so you can see my face, even if it's not,
Yeah.
you know.
We have to use Google Meets at work because, the company I work for is on the Google Business Suite or whatever. And there's a 50-50 chance if you're sharing something, you'll share the screen that has your own video that shows everybody else's video, and you get like an infinity screen where you get like an infinity number of screens. It happens all the time. It's the worst.
Vanessa, your hair looks nice, and it's whatever that is.
That is a microfiber towel. It is supposed to protect my delicate strands from frizz.
Ooh, frizz.
Watch out for that frizz. Why?
I have some hot gaming news.
He died.
He died.
Okay, so here, there's Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
This is
That
a
looks
pretty
pretty good.
good Carl Weathers, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's hard
I feel
to.
like they have years of experience of turning Carl Weathers into an action figure, though.
But
Since the Predator
Mr.
days.
Giancarlo Esposito does not look good.
Put your
He-
hand
Yeah.
flat behind his head. That's what the influencers do to focus their camera.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That's just an old man. That could be
It
any old
is.
man.
Yeah, he looks like Smooth Yoda, but Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know if you've all seen Smooth Yoda. Oh no, I dropped his tiny little gun. I have to find it before I vacuum it up.